This is an opportunity that we can't pass on.
E te tī e te tā nau mai rā ki tēnei pāhotanga poitukohu a whakaata Māori mō te whakataitai poitukohu o ngā kuratuarua o te motu. Kei konei mātou, kei te wharekore tinana a Fly Palmy Arena, kei te wainganui o te Pāpaioia. Nō reira e hoa mā, ko Keila Manuererangi tōku ingoa, ko au tētahi autaua mō te rānei. I nai nei, me hoa tū te rākau ki tōku hoa, ki te whakanui atu ngā kaitakaro o te kēmu e whai ake nei.
Kia ora everyone, welcome to Fly Palmy Arena, P Naughty as they say. Maya Williamson alongside Keila Manuererangi and Greg Elliott here in girls AA semi-final action. We have had two rippers to begin with, a third here, St. Peter's, St. Andrews, and we're gonna head over to our team lists in a second. Greg, your thoughts for today's game, how are we all feeling?
A huge matchup here in the AA girls semi-final. Some incredible awahine toa on display here and been so impressed with levels. I can see here we've got St. Peter's School, we've got Tanika Ledger-Walker, Eva Jeffries, Alice Dooley, Regan Gallion, Macy Costello, Amelia Rose Rickowitz, Hayley Sherwin, Stella Muir, Greer Garland, Charlotte Bodie, coached by Leanne Walker, assisted by none other than Anthony Corbin.
Have you seen much of St. Peter's Cambridge at all, Greg? Any thoughts, any feelings?
I haven't actually gotten to enjoy either of these teams so far, just the way things have lined up. The stars have not aligned, unfortunately. However, one star that has aligned is Keila Manuererangi.
Welcome, Keila, to the commentary box. And would you like to do the honours of a St. Andrews College team list?
Look, it would be my privilege. So from St. Andrews College, we have Ophelia Powell, Hannah Redford, Rafferty Powell, Ella Sharp, Neem Chamberlain, Ava Jones, Ola Motley, Ella Buchanan, Lucy Cliff, Manaya Tefo, Hayley Stowell, Sophie Shooton, coached by Etta Morgan and assistant coached by Dave Urmerins.
Keila Manuererangi,
apologies for that team.
You have just entered the building, coming back from Hamilton last night. How are you feeling being back in Fly Palmy Arena and here on semi-final Friday?
Look, I'm absolutely jazzed and ready to go. Hey, just while we're here, e mihi ana ki ngā kaiwawao o tēnei kemu. A special thanks to our referees. We have Natasha Ahing and Michaela Sharp, who I believe is from the mighty Taranaki, my home.
Up the Naki. It's been a great day of semi-finals so far. Greg, you've been in the booth for the last two. What have you made of semi-final Friday so far, and what is your expectations coming into this one? Do you have a favourite? Do you have a pick? What are your feelings?
I like to stay unbiased up here, but anytime I see a Ledger Walker putting on a basketball uniform and picking up the poro, the excitement levels are high. What I've seen so far is a phenomenal crowd here at Fly Palmy Arena. I want to just touch on the word fly. How lucky we are to have none other than Kayla Manu Irarangi join us. Stuck this morning, I believe, Kayla. Just want to touch on what went down and how lucky we are to have you.
Look, it was just one of those travel things, you know, you get a bit of a delay of flight, but we are here and it's so exciting to be here. This tournament, what is it, guys? Day 5 already. We're
5.
at the business end of this competition. And can I just say, it's so special. Shout out to Whakaata Māori for streaming 3 courts for a whole 6 days of tournament. You know, 10 years ago, it was 1 court for the last day for probably the semi and the final. So it's so cool that our whānau all around the motu can tune in from home.
St Andrews College back-to-back runners-up in this tournament. Of course, looking to go one better this year. They will face off against back-to-back champions Westlake. Shout out to our wonderful volunteers over at Basketball Manawatu for all the mahi they have put in those beautiful purple shirts. To this tournament, a huge beast, not made possible without them. As we see Taylor Britt hanging around the St Andrews College bench. Kayla, any people to watch just quickly for St Andrews College from what you can see in front of you?
Yes, so as we can see, St Andrews College, they actually finished 2nd in 2023. So this is a redemption year for them, as Drake once wisely said. In their qualifying tournament, they finished 3rd. As you can see, just while we're on the camera there, Christ College are just having their recovery. They just beat Wellington College in the men's semi-final. So, look, they'll be trying to take these next 24 hours very seriously, as we know those 1%ers like recovery make all the difference.
Indeed, big Christchurch affair. Can we have a double Christchurch final? I know that would make a Cantabrian like me very happy. And we are just about to get underway. Balls up. And it will be St Peter's with the first possession. You can trust the hands of Tanika Ledger Walker right on cue. The first hara within 4 seconds.
Ai, ko hāmeni te a te nama te kaumātoru, St Andrews College.
And I tell you what, how quick was that, as you just alluded to, Maya Williamson. Could be maybe the quickest hara we've seen so far in the tournament.
Yeah, 4 seconds, possibly a record, as Tanika Ledger Walker, her first and definitely not last points, I believe, 2nd in scoring, Kayla, is that
Yes,
right?
Yep. Last check the stats this morning, she is placed 2nd, 31 points she's been averaging this tournament, which, look, I'd be stoked with one 20-point performance, so averaging 31 is pretty impressive.
Ava Jones back the other way, looking to get her bank account open off the front tupper, and by the looks of it, a fouling affair. We could be here for a while. The last 2 semis, track meets, as we take another look here at Ava Jones. Great footwork, and of course, another famous last name on the flip side.
The youngest of the Jonesies.
Kuru Whiwhi Toru, go!
Ka mau te wehi.
And I tell you what, earlier, ladies, I did put my foot in it. I saw the big flag in the background. I thought that was from Braveheart, aka Scotland, my ancestry, only to find out that is not the case.
So close, Greg. That is the flag of St Andrews College there on your screens. And, oh, we've even got some words of encouragement.
Good luck. Oh, that's pretty cool they've got a flag, actually.
Eva Jeffries for 2 Kuru Tautakus. Just rims out the first. Had an impressive semi-final yesterday against Takapuna Grammar, finishing with 33 points, I believe, to get the edge and be here in the top 4 position as she rims out her 2nd, but offensive two-dupper for Tanika.
Yeah, just touching on that as well. Eva Jeffries, All-Star 5, under 18 Footlocker Nationals. That's huge mahi right there.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I'm assuming she's going to play 40 minutes today. She is a beast. And what do we have here, Kayla?
E roa ngā kuru tautaku, Legia Walker will go to the line for 2. So strong at getting to the rim is the youngest of, we know the name, the Legia Walker crew, as you can see, coached by legendary Leanne Walker and assisted coached by Anthony Corbin. Great expertise from that St. Peter's College staff.
Bit of a powerhouse duo there on the bench as Rafferty Powell back the other way, moving the portal. Ophelia, a master coming off the on-ball screen. Finds Ava, easy park get there.
A tāhua a rawa atu te kuru.
What a target, Ava Jones. Just had her hands up, took the portal and did what a Jones does best, finish at the tapa.
Tanika Legia Walker, I feel like we're going to say that name a few times today off the back tapa and in.
Ka rawe pai te whārauta. Koira te kupu kia au nei mo te tahi floater. Whārauta.
It's a beautiful thing as well, getting to fly down with none other than Crystal Legia Walker. Shared the flight with the bald voice, Andrew Horrocks, and myself.
You are very fortunate for that, Greg. I bet you felt like you were in the presence of a celebrity.
I thought it was amazing. She had Baby with her, and Baby was super quiet, which not often you find on the aeroplanes these days.
Congratulations to Crystal and her little baby. I believe she's solo mothering at the moment while in preparation for a Tauihi season. Talk about a girl boss.
Absolutely. And speaking of Tauihi, I believe it's the first game tonight.
Indeed.
So, tune in e Hoama. We have our Women's Pro League starting up, and it is an action-packed. It's going to be a great competition this year.
I'll tell you what, the Karamar Motorin will be tuned in. Kayla Maru Irarangi, the residents of Andrew Horrocks, myself, and none other than Fire Maya, we have dubbed her.
That is indeed my new nickname. As we're going to take another look at the hara call here. Neve Chamberlain, her first trip to the Kuru Tautaku line, evens it up 6 apiece. Feel as though this one's going to go down to the wire. Greg, Kayla, your thoughts?
I'll go ladies first on that one, Kayla. I know that beautiful headband, something's going on in that mind of yours. What are your thoughts?
Shout out to my headband first. Thank you, thank you. We do have the face for radio, don't we? Look, I, as someone who lives in Waikato, I have had the fortunate experience to play with Corbs and Leanne, and I know they run a very tight ship. They take pride in their defensive intensity, and that's something that sees them well. So for a team like St. Peter's, as you can see, full court pressuring man-to-man, I think we're going to see that the whole game. So, look, if their offence maybe ebbs and flows, they will rely on their defence to start their offence.
What I'm concerned about is just in the commentary box. I know, as you said, Kayla, from the Waikato, you've got St. Peter's from Cambridge, and I've got the Maya Williamson, the Queen of Canterbury, St. Andrew's College. And do I have 2 biased commentators with me?
Well, you're here to balance us out. That's why we invited you.
Hey, I'm from Taranaki. I'm just Hiri no Taranaki.
What's your maunga?
Taranaki.
Uwe.
Ophelia Powell just off the tapa. A great look in the rohu kuru for her, but can't convert. But Greg, if you're St. Andrews getting Ophelia Powell to the rim early, you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they are attacking the tapa, and I feel like a broken record, and I've been saying that the whole time, is whoever attacks the tapa with reckless abandon, they're getting rewarded, and I love to see it, making our team in the GJ Gardner great. Use the whistle.
Speaking of, right on cue, the 4th hara of the quarter for St. Andrews. That position in 3 minutes, please you, Greg. Not a favourite position for SAC, 4 haras in 3 minutes.
Yep, only three minutes in. Early in this game, probably a really great opportunity for St. Peter's to exploit how many fouls St. Andrews are on, and as Eva's done so well, get to the free throw line.
Yep, yet another hara, just as we spoke about it, back to the Paikuru Tautaku for Eva Jeffries. Feels as though her and Tanika need to pay some rent, given how much they've taken a trip just within these first 3 minutes.
Pai te mea tuatahi.
I know we have some young wahine toa in front of us, but I know you two are big, in the scene of the Premier Leagues in your respective regions. You see many of these wahine toa playing their trade in there?
Oh, for sure. We have a couple of girls who have been training in the wider squad of the mainland Pauakai for the St Andrews College side. Rafferty Powell, Neve Chamberlain, Ophelia Powell and Ava Jones, all allowing themselves some development opportunities, playing with some of the best of the best. And I think it shows, given their opportunity now to play on the national stage in the top 4. And I believe Tanika Ledger-Walker as well, a DP for the Kahu.
Yep, for the Northern Kahu. Alongside her older sister Crystal, so yeah, it is a family affair in the Kahu.
A position left begging there, but Kayla for St Peter's, it's a pretty good look getting Macy Costello at the Papamuri that early. Absolutely,
very aggressive player is Costello. Great inside presence, very active, you know, 4-man. Yeah, very versatile.
Ola Motley in the corner, just off the tapa, and we're going to see a rebounding foul by way of Rafferty Powell. Another Hara. We're going to see them go back to the free throw line. What could this mean for Stack? This much trouble early on, Greg.
Yeah, it could be interesting. As I said, if that's your starting 5, and once people get into a foul trouble, only the one there, but as you said, if it does go on in this game, we've seen some foul trouble cause issues in other games where some of the star players have had to either take a seat or they've been out of the game in its entirety, and their teams have suffered as a result of it. So I'm sure the game management from both coaches is right up there, and they'll be able to use their game management to their best.
Pai tukuru tautuku tuatahi, tuarua anō hoki.
See if St Andrews College can get a conversion on this possession, otherwise maybe a Waheke in sights.
Great defense there from Eva, undersized guard there, but did a good job fronting their post player as Ledger-Walker. Oh, Karawe, Atahua, Te Reikuru.
Tough pākite there from Tanika Ledger-Walker. Not only can she shoot it from the outside, she can get to the tapa. You kind of feel as though Waheke might be in the books soon for St Andrews as Ophelia, the tough bucket. How good is it to get her going?
Yeah, we've seen her at under-18 nationals early in the year, Maya. Both her and her sister were very tenacious players, good scorers, well-rounded, crafty guards actually. So it's pretty hard to guard someone who's also a slasher and can throw dimes like that.
Ava Jones with a great finish there, huge apakete. I'll tell you what, we're in the Ophelia out process here so far in the first quarter.
Turn down, beautiful turn down as she goes for the floater.
It's a bit of a Tanika Eva show at the moment. Kuru, Fifi, Toru. If they can both get going, Kayla, how dangerous is that going to be for St Andrews defence?
I mean, we saw in their last game, they were a collective of probably 60 points. But that being said, isn't to downplay the other players that they have supporting around them. It takes other people on the court to open up shots for them or open up a lane. Something as simple as a back cut can open up a driving lane for, let's say, Ledger-Walker at the top of the key. So very much their ability to score is, I believe, quite reliant as well on those other 3 people on the floor.
Yeah, typically teams that we see, especially in a top 4 situation, are teams that have depth and great supporting pieces alongside your star players. Regan to the tapa, but Ophelia Powell, not only the topare, but the steer down too. She got that dog.
She got that dog.
She got that dog in her. Let's take another look.
Like that dog. I'll tell you what, ladies, and I know both astute observers of what's going on, but TLW already up to the first double-digit scorer, 10 points to her name.
Could we see a 40-piece on ways for Tanika Ledger-Walker?
I'll tell you what was it? Bailey Flavel had 60.
Oh, yeah, just a light 60.
Karawe. Yeah. That hezi from Ledger-Walker. I know she's been getting in the gym, and I appreciate a good hezi when I see one.
You are the queen of the hezi, Kayla Manuiridangi. Don't let it get mistaken.
And the goosey.
Look, I think it was something about the hesitation dribble while we're talking about it. It's one of those things you actually don't know where you're going to go after you do a hezi. It's one of those things you actually have a split second where you're not sure if you're going to go left or right, but you read the defense. And it's such an effective move as we see. Transition, extra pass.
Unselfish, Poitakohu.
Karawe.
Ola Motley making her defensive presence known very early. as we are all tied up here. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter of this second girls AA semi-final, shaping up to be what we predicted. Ball back in the hands of Tanika.
Te kauhekona e toiana. Nui te tūrapa.
Eva Jeffries now for her second of the game, way off to the left. Great effort there from Regan Gallion, but it'll go back the other way. Greg, you've commentated the last two semi-finals. How essential have offensive tūrapas been to the winning team?
Oh, it's a war of attrition. Whoever can start to get, you know, a wrestle or a hit on that tūrapa side of things, they go on to do great things. But I just wanted to draw the attention to what I have seen as well. It's 14 apiece.
I
was just about to say that we've seen drawn games.
Got the commentator's curse once again there. Ophelia Powell making her presence known early, as well as Rafferty Powell. I believe that's going to be her second hara.
Right, ko haminitea Powell.
We'll take a look over at our basketball Manawatu volunteers working hard over there on the score bench. And that is going to be her second, so she will be forced to take a seat next to Coach Adam Morgan. And once again, Tanika Ledger-Walker at the Paikuru Tautaku. Very calm, very collected, and buries the first. Definitely not Coach Leanne's first time in a national final.
No.
Kayla, you would have seen plenty of St. Peter's finals. A dynasty, some may say.
Yes, I think that is true. And they have actually won 4 titles as St. Peter's. So, look, they've had a few years where they've been very much up in the top 4 kind of caliber of teams in the nation. And it's quite hard to build such a consistent program. You can often have, you know, 1 year where a program is strong and then there's a drop-off. But, you know, in the expertise of Leanne and Corbs, there's built a culture and a program of success.
Definitely extending out to that Waikato region as well, given their success at a representative level. What have you liked so far from Ophelia Powell, Greg? Up to 7 points. Make that 8.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where, again, it's a first time for me getting to witness some of these wahine toa. I've heard a lot of names, you know. However, this is my first time getting to see some of these players, and she has been incredible. I know that was one player in particular that you were saying, Maya, is one to keep an eye on, and she hasn't disappointed.
Indeed, never disappoints, does Ophelia Powell. All a motley, trying to lock up Eva Jeffries. Eva looks like she likes this matchup. 2 feet in the rohukuru, back to none other than Tanika. Shot clock winding down, snatches it and fouled. I believe her feet were on the line, so only to Kuru Tautaku's. How extremely tough is that, Kayla?
Yeah, tough. Look, that was a long 2, as you can just see on that replay. Little snatchback, managed to get that foul, and the, you know, in that instance, if you're the defender, that you've really got to be disciplined there. A player's throwing up a quick shot, and she's fading back. You've really got to be disciplined about not reaching those hands too far.
I'll tell you what, this might be the home of the Manawatu Jets, but you cannot get in someone's landing space, that is for sure.
Nicely done, Greg.
Love it, Greg.
Thank you.
Movement of the poro here. Ophelia Powell drops the dime. All a motley, but everything but hits all sides of the tupper before rimming out. Now, St. Peter's a chance to take the lead. Are we going to see what feels like hara number 7? And Eva Jeffries back to the Paikuru Tautaku. Let's take another look at that. Unfortunate. Great dime there from Ophelia. Unfortunate finish. Eva buries the first. Would you believe Tanika Ledger-Walker, 10 from 10 from the free throw line?
Wow.
10 from 10.
Karawe pai te mea tuarua.
She seems like an Energizer Bunny, does Tanika Ledger-Walker. The energy levels never seem to drop.
And I'm sure it'll remain that way for the duration of this game. Ava Jones, patient. Back in the hands of Ava. She finds a gap and won't get a call. It does fall to the ground, but back the other way for St. Peter's, led by Tanika. Ola Motley causing some issues.
Karawe, mai te kona, mo te kuru whiwhi toru. Karawe, ka taka te tefa.
She put the hand up too.
What a dagger.
Letting St.
From
Andrews
the
know
corner.
about it. 2-possession game.
Speaking of from the corner, the crowd starting to get rowdy. The
Yep.
chance of defence went up there.
Yep, absolutely. And look, I know there's only 1:40 left here in this quarter, but this is an opportunity for St. Peter's, as you can see that gap being bridged, to still get to the line as much as possible. Anytime we have a team that's on 5 team fouls, you've got to be a little bit more aggressive when you go to the rim.
If you're Tanika Legia-Walker, you'll take that look though, right?
Absolutely. You know, open look is an open look.
And she'll take it once again. Goes just too long on that one. A chance for Stack now to take the lead back. Ophelia Powell.
Tough off-foot take there.
Oh, and unfortunate fortuitously falls right to her foot. Take another look at that from a different angle. Super fast, super crafty.
Oh, I feel for the defender there on that one. Sorry, the aggressor taking it to the hoop, hit the floor, and then just the portal hitting the body on the way down, and that'll see the ball fall into the hands of St. Peter's. And a chance here, Maya, to extend their lead.
1 point lead, 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Been the slowest quarter, I think, of the day so far. Regan Gallion kicks extra. Her third of the game, no good. Offensive two-uppers. Macy Costello, Kurupiki, no good.
And again, oh, almost.
Good aggression there from Garland, just trying to chase down every loose ball that she can get.
I'm not surprised, a product of Leanne and Corbs. Oh, and Ophelia just finding every teammate possible. Kuru, Fifi, Toru, offensive two-upper. We're going to say that one too many times today. Ava Jones draws the hara.
Nō reira ka haere ia ki te pai kuru tautaku mo e rua ngā kuru.
Yeah, real nose for the portal. Does Ava Jones, just seems to sniff out second chance, third chance opportunities. A real threat on that offensive two-upper.
Are we surprised with a last name like that as she buries in her first Kuru Tautaku all tied up?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see Tanika, you know, as she's getting older. Legia-Walker is a really, you know, there's big shoes to fill with such a well-known name in the basketball community, but it's been really cool to see her kind of pave her own path. I know for, you know, Crystal as well, like, you know, you've got your mother that you've got that you're striving to be, but it can be really hard for, you know, if you've got such a legend of a mother or sisters to really pave your own way. And I'm really proud of Tanika in the way that she's, you know, just doing her thing and really, yeah, enjoying the game, which is what it seems like.
And how good seeing, obviously, oldest. I mean, I'm glad we've taken the whole first quarter before we mentioned her, but arguably the GOAT, Wahine Charlize over at UCLA.
Yeah, she is incredible. I remember watching her on this exact stage and just blown away by her talent as Macy Costello rims that one out. But you're right, Tanika Legia-Walker, a lot of pressure on her with that last name, but like you said, paving her own path, which is great. And still second in scoring here at the Secondary School Nationals. Neve, just a lid on the tupper for St. Andrews. Dying seconds of the first quarter.
Oh, we did see one of those the other day from Jameer Reed, actually, a bit of a half-court shot.
Here we are, all tied up at the end of the first, 24 apiece. Thoughts and feelings so far for St. Peter's, Kayla? You have to be pretty happy with how many trips they took to the Kuru Tautaku line just then.
Yeah, they did a good job at being aggressive and potentially a couple too many three-pointers towards the end. Maybe they should have just tried to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim while the other team were in foul trouble. But defensively, you know, they're doing what they do well. They play full-court man pressure, even if it's not, you know, typically teams go make-miss. On a make, we're going to go full-court pressure. But I like that even if it's a miss, they do pick up full-court man, so they try and keep that pressure on. And then on the offensive end, I think they're doing quite well when they, as you know, you see St. Andrews are in man-to-man defense. When they use that middle ball screen, drive into the key, you know, often when you're penetrating into the key, you want to get 2 foot inside of the paint and then making that extra pass to the perimeter. When they do that, they look really good. And you know, with the likes of Garland and Costello, really just tenacious players chasing down that rebound, they look really good.
Amen. As we see Darcy Finnegan there, feet up, Laxon, enjoying the basketball like we all
Shout
are.
out Darcy,
Think they're freaking
my girl.
nice. there on the big cam there. Some embarrassed faces, and the Rangitoto girls as well. And then Dave Emrins, assistant coach, having a korero with the officials. Greg, what have you seen so far from Stack? Again, have to be pretty happy with their performance so far.
100%. And another one of those that have got their feet up, and because they obviously have to, is Kat Jones. I wonder what she's done to herself. A bit of a cast there. So just, yeah, we love to know what has happened. A speedy recovery for her. But just want to say that St Andrews College, they're doing it by committee. As we see Tanaka Walker, you know, in the double figure. But we do have doing it by committee. Ophelia Powell out to 9, but just seeing, you know, no one else flirting with that double-digit mark. Kayla, sorry, it'll be Maya actually. You probably have the stats though. Is there anything that's jumping off the page?
Yeah, I think as we just see, a big shout out to our live stats crew there, bringing you all the statistics back at home that you can check out. Head to the Barcelona New Zealand Instagram page or the website to get on board with those. 9 offensive two-uppers for St Peter's is the biggest thing that jumps off the page for me. Second chance opportunities been a prevalent theme here, not only in semi-final Friday, but the entire secondary school nationals. So interesting to see how things get cleaned up. Stack with the opening possession.
Speaking of second chance opportunities, I really hope I'm back in 2025. This has been an amazing week. Had such an amazing time with not only you ladies, but our Tane as well. But what an incredible time here, getting to enjoy this AA Girls semi-final.
All go here, and P Naughty, Palmerston North, Fly Palmy Arena putting on a clinic, and Tanika Ledger-Walker similarly putting on a clinic. Eva Jeffries at the top now. Oh, the Euro of the Papamuri. You must like that, Kayla.
Te hikoi uropi.
Ooh.
Koira te kupu mō Euro step.
Good opening positions for both teams as Ophelia Powell looking to dance and gets one up.
Great defense there, just walling up, not reaching in, as Tanika Ledger-Walker yet again.
Another Euro just short off the tupper.
We're seeing some incredible footwork here from our wahine toa.
Mai te kona. Karawe. Tata.
Great offensive two-upper and the easiest parket that we've seen today. How encouraging is that, Greg?
There's nothing better to obviously get the confidence going, the ball going through the net. And as you said, cool as you like and easy as you like. No challenge whatsoever. You enjoy the open real estate thanks to Bailey's.
And shout out to the rest of our sponsors as well. Caltech, Apollo Project, New Zealand Carbon Farming, NZCT, and of course, Foot Locker for all the mahi they have done, the half-court shootouts. A chance to win $100 today. If you are in Manawatu, get down. You could have some new kicks. Ava Jones, the lead now at 4.
I don't know if you saw as well with that Foot Locker, the half-court shot they've had on offer here. Ladies, you see the young man who, with the broken leg, was able to make that half-court shot and get in the money. Incredible stuff.
That was, when I had a broken foot, I could barely walk from A to B, so I don't know how I hit that half-court shot. Very impressive.
Hey, when you put free on the line, you can do some amazing things.
Sure, if I was offered $100, I probably could have done it.
Great defense there.
Aye.
From Macy Costello, right in the airspace.
Rafferty Powell, no good. Contesting that offensive two-upper, but Tanika will be the beneficiary. Kick ahead pass. Eva, deep two. And a really clear intention to crash those offensive two-uppers, Kayla.
Absolutely, there always will be two. Never let one possession off.
I know you weren't here last night, Kayla, but you would have witnessed what an amazing ceremony that we were part of, and no one more so than our lovely under-15 World Cup New Zealand assistant coach, Maya Williamson, handing out medals. But Maya, girls on display here, anyone impressing you in particular?
I think the duo of Ava Jones and Ophelia Powell for St Andrews College really impressing me. Ophelia with an innate ability to get downhill and find her own shot or find her teammates. Macy Costello off that Papamuri. And of course, Tanika Ledger-Walker, very impressive as she causes a turnover there on Rafferty Powell. Still a two-position game, but a chance to bring it back to 2, just under 7 minutes to go. And interestingly, team, no timeout called by either coach just yet.
No need, I guess.
You're looking to keep that wahiki in the pocket.
Yep. You never know when you'll need a timeout late in the fourth.
And Hara Tinanas cleaned up this quarter, admittedly. St Andrews had 3, I believe, within the first minute. Their first Hara of the quarter. What do you think the corridor was there from Coach Adam at the break there, Greg, to disencourage that foul trouble?
Yeah, I think they need to show bodies at Tanaka Legia-Walker, who's attacking the tapa. Oh, I just see a little microphone attacking my face. Even the microphone saying that's enough from you, young man. However, yeah, just wall up, you know, just make sure you keep your hands up. Don't allow the referees any opportunity to second guess.
Mai te papa muri, mama noiho te reikuru.
Great corridor, Greg.
Yeah,
Great job.
I appreciate that. Thank you for Kayla for knowing the opportunity just to save me. Felt like Tom Hanks with Wilson.
Rein it in, Greg. Oh, great job yet again from Eva. She does so well. She is a shorter guard, but she just doesn't reach, as we see Legia-Walker.
Tenacious to the Papamuri is Tanika Legia-Walker. The ferocious clap to herself as well. And another trip. She's got to pack her bags and get a stamp on her passport for how many trips she's taken to the Paikuru Tautuku.
Great job in transition there from Legia-Walker. And we were talking about it early in the tournament, the value of having someone who can rebound as well as lead the break, and that's something that Legia-Walker does so well. You know, you think of traditional basketball, you've got the post player getting the rebound, kicking it out to the point guard who's leaking to the free throw line, and then you start your transition. But to have someone that can do both, it really just makes it that much harder for the defense to get back.
Positionless basketball is the corridor nowadays. Ava Jones, also the corridor nowadays, getting another pakete there for St Andrews. They lead by 5.
Another thing there with Ava Jones, she is on 2 fouls, so just keep an eye on that one. If she were to draw a third, it could be the last we see from her. I know we're still 5 minutes and 42 away from the halftime break, so yeah, just foul trouble potentially for Ava Jones.
Wouldn't want to see her go out the game as Neve Chamberlain goes out of the court. Ava Jones up to 12 points. Tanika Legia-Walker leading all scorers with 14. And just like that, our first white hike of the game. St Andrews do lead by 5.5 minutes to go. What do you think the corridor is here from Coach Adam? Is he making an adjustment? Is it an energy chat? What do you think, Greg?
I think that's probably exactly what it is. Just they want to stick to their structures and take a bit of a break, get some of that H2O in, and just, yeah, get the girls together. They're doing a fantastic job, and yeah, Coach Morgan will just be probably reiterating that, and more of the same, I would say. But St Peter's, thoughts, Kayla?
Yeah, well, I think in the last few minutes, Jones has probably got too many easy touches just under the basket. They're quite easy for her to finish, so pivotal that they kind of find her. And then on the offensive end, getting the ball through, you know, we talked about it yesterday again, like 3 to 4 sets of hands before the shot goes up, not shooting it too early in the offense. It is pivotal that the ball moves around, gets through everyone's hands. On the defensive end, St Andrews are switching those screens. So for St Peter's, trying to maybe make, when that guard comes off, trying to look for a mismatch if possible, or whether the guard needs to get their post player to come. So you pull out your biggest post defender to the perimeter and then attack them off the dribble. So potentially trying to problem solve for St Peter's as they read those screens.
Damn, do we have Coach Leanne in the commentary box or what?
I'll tell you what, delving into that incredible brain there of Kayla Manu Ararangi, just ticking over at all times. And I tell you what wants to be ticking over is this scoreboard for St Peter's.
A chance to bring it back. And off the Papamuri there for Tanika. Hasn't found her shot yet from beyond the arc, but believe me, she can hit those once she finds her rhythm.
Absolutely, as we just saw Amelia Rose full court man defense. We love to see it. She's also a lacrosse player, guys. And I don't know if you've seen a game of lacrosse, but it is incredibly physical. And I was talking to Crystal about this earlier in the tournament when I saw her. She said she is not afraid of contact. And I love the aggression. I love when girls just get after it, you know?
So niche, first of all. And second of all, what I love about those athletes who are cross-sport is the way that they can bring their, like, niche transferable skills over to the game of basketball and contribute effectively in that kind of role. You know, oftentimes
100%.
you see people who play other sports, the volleyball, the netballs, the lacrosses apparently, they have these little niche skills that nobody else can really do, but it actually becomes a big part of the team's offensive defensive strategies.
And I thoroughly love the sisterhood we have here in the commentary booth as well. Yeah.
What?
Go to Wahine.
But yeah, like, you know, when we're talking about multiple sports, like, I don't know when, like, I probably started specialising just in basketball in year 9, and, you know, I don't regret just doing basketball because I absolutely loved it, but I think there's a lot of value in a young rangatahi coming through and having, like, a sport that they can do in tandem with another one. It keeps it fun, it keeps it enjoyable, and I understand you can't play 5 sports for your high school. It's just not realistic time-wise. Your poor parents will be driving everywhere all the time, but it is really valuable to have, you know, multiple skills. Leanne Walker, she played touch for New Zealand and played basketball for New Zealand, you know. It would be nice to be that good at everything, but there is value in having different skills, and you know, I think it's important that we don't push kids into sports specialisation too early.
I think my mother, if she's listening, is having PTSD. She drove me to everything, ladies. I tell you what, I played cricket, rugby, basketball, tennis. So I didn't have any brothers or sisters, so it was the only way to hang out with.
That explains. No.
Yeah, I know, facts. I know, what an attention seeker. So I'll leave it up to you, ladies. The spotlight's back on you now.
We'll put the spotlight back on our rangatahi here.
It's time to shine.
It is time to shine. Rafferty Powell aware of that, extending the lead now to 9 points, just ticking under the 4-minute mark. Eva Jeffries back to Tanika, who's just going to let that one fly. And
Nui te toot up a massive rebound there.
a tough couple of possessions for St. Peter's here, Kayla.
Yes. You know, as that lead's been pushed to 9 points, they will be looking to bridge that gap as much as they can. As who but Jones? Look, it's in the bloodline. It's in her whakapapa, guys. She is a shooter. And for those of you that don't know, her mother and her father and the entire family are hoopers.
Oh, yeah.
I think, you know, instead of, you know, before dinner, doing, you know, prepping the kai, I reckon they go out to the backyard and shoot 100 threes, and then I reckon they have their kai, and then I reckon instead of the dishes, they shoot their shot. Honestly, they are just shooters. Phil Jones, one of the best Tall Blacks we've had. Part of that, was it the 04 team?
02, I believe.
With Pera Cameron and that got 4th in the world. So that, yeah, he's a legend. And as you can just see on the screen there, looking so nonchalant, but, you know, you're the man, Phil Jones.
And Mum, Kat Jones, in the building as well on the left. She's very visible. Little thing on her foot there.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you see Phil
I'll leave
there.
the lady alone.
Phil was sitting on an angle there, and I tell you what, I was sitting on the stands yesterday. Not as much legroom as there is on the Air New Zealand flight, as you see.
Gosh.
It's a long day at the office if you are sitting through a whole game of Poitakahu. The legs
As we
will do
see
it for you.
Hamilton girls in the crowd. We've got a lot of faces in the crowd, a lot of support, and mahi from our whānau stack, though, with a 12-point lead, a chance to be back-to-back finalists, and praying that this year they could hopefully go one more. But St. Peter's going to have to dig themselves out of a grave, and Kayla, preferably before half-time.
Yeah. If I'm that team, you know, if you can get it back, basketball is very much just a game of possession. So for them, it's going to be focusing on making the most of every single offensive play and then locking down on defense, getting the stop, getting the score, getting the stop, getting the score.
A bucket that needed here. Eva.
My goodness, that was a gorgeous hezzy, Eva. I will be giving you a high five after the game for that one.
Offensive toot-upper. And Tanika Ledger-Walker tipped away by Mania. Will regain possession. The clock winding down, has to put it up.
Whai te kuru peke mai te papamuri. Kaurihiangi tū engari, tino tata. She had to get the shot up. It was a good look. Good court awareness there and clock awareness.
Sister to sister, Rafferty Powell just going to pull off the front tapa. A welcome to miss for St. Peter's. 3-on-1 situation.
Whiua ki te corner. Mo te kuru whiwhi toru, a Regan. Look, we've seen her make those, and you know, in those instances, it's a good shot. unfortunately just missed, but you got to keep shooting those.
Ophelia Powell will keep shooting those. Offensive two-upper once again. Ava Jones, Neve Chamberlain, and another two-upper. Greg, how does that contribute to their success?
Hey, they are fighting down there on the low block, a war of attrition, and as we said earlier in the broadcast, whoever wins that battle of the two-upper usually goes a long way to winning the match. Just want to shout out Thrava Jones. Huge mahi on 17 points, and they're off again.
Ke te kōkiri whakamua, mai te papa muri karawe.
And the second white heke that Leanne kept in her back pocket, utilised now the biggest lead of the game, 16 points. Just under 2 minutes to go before we hit the halfway mark. I believe you've been coached by Leanne Walker. Kayla, what do you think the kōrero is here? Trailing 16, probably not necessarily reflective of the two teams' abilities.
Yeah, well, I know firstly she won't be panicking. She's very cool, calm and collected. Just sorry, while we have the screen there, that's Rosmini for the next game. We will have our men's semi-final number 2 played after this. But yes, back to what Leanne will be feeling. They're getting a few leak-outs in transition. But I think, you know, you don't get leak-outs unless you take a quick shot and you can't get back. So it kind of starts on the offensive end for them, making sure that they're taking good shots, not rushing them, but they're having, you know, often... You know, you talk about having 3 rebounders in a triangle when the shot goes up. You have one person running back to potentially half court and another one floating around the three-point line. So they either need to make sure that they are getting in their rebounding positions to ensure that the other team doesn't get a quick steal or doesn't get a quick rebound and leak out in transition. I think that's probably pivotal for them as they come into the end of this first half.
And how good do the Volunteers look in those Papuda shorts, Kayla? T-shirt, sorry.
Yeah, fantastic, Greg. Fantastic.
How good was the kupu Māori there on that one?
Karawe.
Don't toot your own horn, Greg. That's not what we're here
The
for.
kumara does not speak of how sweet it is, Greg.
Not
But
that Greg is a
potato
sweet
does.
man.
Hey, as I said earlier,
The potato does.
that St Andrews College looking like the Scotland flag, maybe for the Braveheart, and freedom, and 47-31, a lot of breathing space for St Andrews. St Peter's will need to lock this one up, get some points on the board here.
Tanika Leger-Walker now 0 from 7 from the Paikuru Whiwhi.
Ki te kōna, mo te kuru whiwhi toru a Regan. Tēnō tata, engari nui te tūrapa. That will be a tie ball there. Love the effort from both girls, as you can see. She just ripped that away there.
Let's see that one more time, and the battle for the tūrapa. Greg, if you're St Andrews, pretty happy with these last defensive possessions.
Yeah, especially there. What I love to see is a bit of passion, a bit of, you know, physicality. And I tell you what, this is a chance to go through to the final and play for that silverware for your kura. So there's no point leaving anything out there.
Ai, kua riro toru piro a Regan.
Stack now searching for an answer, to no surprise. The duo of Ophelia and Ava. Ophelia just hunting that contact, that par, but cannot receive it. A bit of wool up there from St Peter's, Kayla, as we go into a waiheke from Coach Adam Morgan.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, Eva just does so well at not reaching. It can be very tempting to reach outside the cylinder in that instance, but no, she's got her feet planted, her hands are up, and it's deceiving because, you know, she's a smaller guard, very lean, but she's very strong as well, and it can be quite deceiving. So yeah, good job from Eva there, and I like the aggression that St Peter's are also using on the offensive end on those rebounds.
14-point lead for St Andrews College. Just under a minute to go here. Coach Adam very smartly using this timeout. Greg, do you think he's drawing up a little play for a certain player? A little packet there coming in for Ava, for Ophelia maybe?
Yeah, how good would that be for Ava to go into the break with a 20-piece? However, what's really good to see as well, as you mentioned, Ophelia Powell, but also a huge contribution as well from Chamberlain with 11 apiece. So, you know, it's not just one particular person. And is that my absolute legend there? My guy helped me out yesterday, Ella Jones. I said he was the Manu Ginobili of the commentary team. Came off the bench and put in a huge six-man performance.
Of the year.
That's exactly correct.
How many people can we get on this cam, and how long can that cam stay on those group of people for? Ella Jones, not to be mistaken as a family member of Ava, although I'm sure he would like to claim that. Ref over to Ophelia. Offensive tūrapa. They are currently winning that battle. Manaya to the tapa. 3 seconds in the key.
E toru here, Kona.
And that's what's going to take here for St Peters. A stop, hopefully a pakete for them, and then another stop. You said that earlier, Maya, and it's coming to fruition.
Few positions left in this first half. It's been all go here at the Basketball New Zealand Secondary School Nationals Girls Semi-Final 2. Of course, winner taking on defending champions Westlake. Tanika Ledger-Walker wants that chance at a gold medal as ball kept in bounds.
Keep it in play.
Kind of looked like from here it may have hit that baseline, but nevertheless we carry on. The final position of the quarter for St Andrews, none other than Ophelia Powell. Last possession here for St Peters. They would love a parket there heading into half-time. Can it be for Eva Jeffries? It doesn't seem so. A massive taupare to end the first half. 49-33. We are going to take a quick break and be back for the second half of action here in this girls' semi-final. See you soon.
Hei ako nei.
Nice. I'm just sort of sitting here just listening to you two. It's amazing.
It's a solid region, I reckon.
They're the OGs.
It's a banger.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this sports facility. The client sent out their brief. And when it came to the 4 submissions, we impressed the client with a proposal that went over and above. Because we'd done things differently. We'd pulled together a team of experts, looked around the world for inspiration, and exceeded the client brief. We even brought it in on budget by reducing fees and prioritising function over form. At Apollo, we're more innovative, create specialist project teams, deliver on our promises, and build to the budget. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
I'm Trevor Johnson, and I'm a sheep and beef farmer from the Forgotten World Highway. Some of the country we bought was quite steep and difficult. We have pushed those blocks to pine trees. 1,000 hectares into forest and 7,000 hectares will stay in grazing. To me, it's just the best use of land. If you've got land that is not so productive, it's a marvellous way of increasing your income.
Randy, are you ready?
Yeah. Permission to board. Push, push, push.
Giving up is not an option.
You could just feel the weight away.
Oh my God! I could see myself here on a beautiful sunny day, doing some mad manus in there. Let's go!
No special karakia to speed the process.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we'll go to one shot.
Kia ora, no mai, hooky mai, as we are witnessing the Foot Locker half-court shootout. No one getting the $100 voucher, but Greg, if you were out there, definitely some new kicks for you.
I don't know about that. I know I would get shots up.
Reps up, hey?
Yeah, maybe if we could bring it a bit closer to the free throw line, maybe even closer than that if you want me to get involved. But I tell you what, neither of you two, Wahine, have left the commentary booth. It is such a joy to be in the presence of two incredibly, your minds, I was just tuning into what you guys were having a kōrero about here at the halftime, just two powerhouses in Kayla Manu Irarangi and the Whaiamaia Williamson.
St Andrews College with a 49-33 lead. Relatively comfortable, but whole 20 minutes of basketball still to be played. Of course, Stack looking to be back-to-back finalists, and for St Peter's would be their first national final in some time, kind of have transitioned out of that dynasty period, still there or thereabouts. Kayla, what have you seen from the first half for both sides?
So for St Peter's, I think they will probably, it's rebounds. I think it's rebounds on the offensive end, because when you get rebounds, you get second chance shots, or you stop them leaking out in transition. We've seen St Andrews get a few leak outs in transition. You know, the Powell sisters are dangerous when they've got the ball in hand. So
take a look at Donna Lofhagen, ex-Silver and Tulfern. Looking like she does not want to be on camera, yeah. That's for sure.
But yes, what about you, Greg? What do you reckon?
Just lovely there, seeing one of my beloved South of the South important figures there, and Donna Lofhagen, super impressive. Quite like my good friend Jeff Wilson in the rugby and cricketing circles, a double international athlete.
St Andrews College here with the opening possession of this second half. Rafferty Powell can't pick up where they left off, but Neve Chamberlain, another offensive two-upper, her 13th point and the 13th offensive rebound. What does that mean for the St Andrews College side here, Greg?
I tell you what, battle. If you can get on that glass, make it yours. We're going to have to see a lot of stops and a lot of paketes here for St Peter's.
You could just see that weak side help coming from Powell there. That's an opportunity. If you're the guard coming downhill and you see that half side drop, that's an opportunity to kick it to the weak side. There's often, when you see a third defender coming out of a pick and roll situation, that's a skip to the weak side.
Eva Jeffries, despite that, a trip to the Pai Kuru Tautaku, and can't bury her first, but does connect on the second. 51-34 is the deficit. Stack have been in control, it feels like, for a majority of today's game. Can they continue that momentum? Ball with Ophelia using her little jab step and can't get the finish. A better defensive position there for St Peter's, Kayla.
And they came away with the rebound as Jeffries throws it to Ledger Walker. Just can't convert that, but another rebound.
Ledger Walker now 0 from 8 from the three-point line. Very uncharacteristic. What does that mean, do you think, for St Andrews, Greg, given that Tanika would have been the largest area of their scout?
Yeah, how happy would the coaching staff be, you know, if you can, you're not going to stop Tanika Ledger Walker, but if you can do your absolute best to nullify her to the best of your abilities. I think they did a really, really good job of that, and you'd have to be happy with what you saw.
Absolutely, and while we're talking about scout, you know, that's an area of the game as you start coming into high school. You know, some people are starting that really young, but as you approach year 11, year 12, scout is a very large part of the game. Knowing who you're coming up against, knowing their strengths. For someone like St Andrews, I'm sure the coach has communicated to them that, you know, Ledger Walker is their scorer and that she can't have any open looks or easy looks.
Is making sure Ophelia has no easy looks at St Peter's, as she'll take another trip to the Pai Kuru Tautaku and rims in her Second can definitely confirm Coach Adam Morgan puts in a lot of mahi with these stat girls. Believe that a majority of their training's 6 a.m. in the morning on weekdays. Tough on the schedule for these rangatahi, but I guess that is why they are in this position.
Tell you what, Maya, that's about the same time you've been up each day, putting in huge mahi, doing your research. I tell you what, commentary's not for everyone. You've got to put in some serious behind-the-scenes mahi. Been lovely to see.
You've been at City Fit, eh, Greg?
And you've been at BFT, I believe.
Right, you are.
As you can tell.
Te tahi hara, te nama, te kaumatahi.
So hudders were a massive issue for St Andrews in their first quarter, have well adjusted now. What does that mean for St Peter's and the way that Stack have really adjusted to what the referees are calling?
I guess it does make it harder for them if their shots aren't falling from the three, as we see another three there. You know, if the shots aren't falling for St Peter's from outside, that does make it really hard. How do they get to the free throw line if the other team isn't fouling?
Rafi Powell, spin cycle, offensive two-uppers galore for the ladies in white. Bump off.
Karawe, tino toa.
And not only is it the offensive two-upper, but it's also points as well. You know, sometimes you can get the two-upper but not convert, but this St Andrews College team doing a heck of a job.
Eva Jeffries, little step back, Bobby Jack, and they just cannot buy a bucket.
Yep, and no doubt it will probably fall at some point, but once again, rebounds to me are the pivotal part for either side. They lead to second chance opportunities. They stop a transition break. And it's one of those stats that isn't as glamorous as your, you know, three-point shot or, you know, a delish dish to someone in transition. But it's one of those stats that is absolutely pivotal. It's, you know, often the most reliable and, you know, impactful people can be those that box out and rebound.
It's the 1%ers indeed. Ball will trickle out of bounds. All things St Andrews here in the second half. 55-36. Still very much doable, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out to all our whānau watching at home. Big love to Whakata Māori for making this live stream possible. How good has it been to have 3 courts live streaming for 4 days and then all this coverage here in our playoff action.
And he tino pai ki te korero Māori anō hoki I rungi I tēnei pāhotanga poitukohu. Really special that we can speak te reo Māori on such a large platform. You know, the language has been through a lot, and there has been a lot of, you know, we're standing on the shoulders of many rangatira being able to kōrero Māori on here, and for Whakata Māori to live stream, as you said, 3 courts for 6 days. You know, we're having about 8 games a day, you know, early on in the tournament. So it's really special. Not only is this a great platform for basketball, but also for te reo Māori. And we've also seen kura kaupapa Māori, the likes of Manukura going from single A to double A. We've had many kura kaupapa Māori in this space as well. So it is really awesome for te iwi Māori to, you know, really be in this space.
You may not believe it, Kayla, but once upon a time I was Ngāti Pālangi, so a tournament like this has been incredible because, you know, a one-off game, are you trying to learn some new words? You're not maybe using those on a regular basis. I've found myself on a regular basis here getting to use this terminology over and over, and it's really starting to stick with me. So something I'll take myself personally out of this tournament and through to the future.
Can't pie.
Thanks to Basketball New Zealand and Whakata Māori for providing us with that Māori kupu. I know I had experience with a young gentleman from Rangiora High School. I said the words kuru whiwhituru, and all him and his friends very excited about that, which just goes to show the rangatahi also very enthused about the usage of Māori kupu in their game.
Ai, tika tērā. Whiua te... karawe. Tino tata, nui te tūrapa. Good rebound there from... who was that? Sorry, that was from...
Tanika just dropping! There it is. Her first kuru whiwhitoru of today.
That might have been just what she needed, Maya.
That is the best fashion she could do it in as well. I'm sure that is a BBNZ highlight reel. Back to 14. Is this the momentum they have been searching for? They won't get the stop, but that could actually do wonders, Kayla.
Absolutely. And key word there, Maya. Let's talk about momentum.
Momentum.
Because that is absolutely essential in basketball. As a player, you want to be thinking, how can I shift the momentum? As you can see, the little waiwai takahi, the little ankle breaker there. But yes, very much a momentum game. You can have a little spark. That's why even people coming off the bench, you can make a massive spark. And speaking of momentum, it's just gone the other way as Jones has answered beautifully off the glass.
Yeah, great answer there from Ava Jones, taking back that little role that St. Peter's were on, and she has been my MVP of today. Don't know about you guys, but Ava Jones owning the floor right now. That is points, I believe, 20 for her and 6 rebounds to go along with that.
Yeah, she's been super impressive. And as you said, you know, that was St. Peter's off that Tanika Legia-Walker bucket, getting back into the lead. However, answered and nullified completely by Ava Jones, cancelled that out. So when you're trying to chase that lead, you need to get stops. We'll see here if St. Peter's can do so.
Great movement of the Poro. Ella Sharp.
Karawe te whārauta.
Too easy on the front of the tapa. Still a 17-point game. 15 minutes of basketball still to be played. Plenty of time here in Fly Palmy Arena. A parket there needed for St. Peter's. Referee Powell. Clock winding down to Nika Legia-Walker. He's going to have to find Macy, who's going downhill.
Karawe.
Great. 15-point game. Are you worried if you're St. Andrews, Greg?
I'm thinking at 15, we're all right, but they're just getting rushed out of maybe what's been working for them so far. And I tell you what, that step back three may have been all that Tanika Legia-Walker needs. And I tell you what, there we go. Speaking what I'm saying into fruition.
I believe that was actually
offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Fruition,
Right, I'll see you guys later.
You're supposed to touch wood after you say things like that, Greg, as an extension of her arm. Tanika Legia-Walker and St. Peter's called into a Waiheke with Coach Leanne. So a 15-point lead for St. Andrews still. A little bit of momentum there for St. Peter's. What do you think the korero here is here from Coach Adams? Still a relatively comfortable lead.
I think there is 15 points, the deficit, you're 100% correct. But if there's anything to go by what we've seen today, no lead is safe. So much time is still on the clock. So it's really probably just letting your troops know to say, hey, look, I know we have a lead. It might be something that allows you to take the foot off the gas slightly, but St. Peter's is that team that can easily put points on the board.
And for you, Kayla, what's the chat here? Obviously, some adjustments needing to be made. Not just an effort chat, I don't think.
Yeah, perhaps just on the offensive end, getting through these sets, but I think from the defensive end, they probably could put a little bit more pressure than they usually do. You know, being at trainings with both Corbs and Leanne, they do hold their standards to a level of excellence on the defensive end where there shouldn't be a moment that someone isn't feeling uncomfortable. If someone's dribbling the ball, you need to be attached at the hip, you know, and, you know, if they're cutting off a screen, you need to be on them at all times. So perhaps it could be a discussion as well of, you know, that defensive intensity that most Waikato teams are very good at.
Just got some love there from Jameer Reid as we see the Rosmini team just before warming up on that back court.
Yeah, don't go far after this. Semi-final wraps up. The Rosmini boys will take on, who are they taking on? Napier boys in their semi-final.
That'll be a matchup.
Ava Jones, the little turnaround. That is her 22nd point of the game. Not to mention, she's under 15.
That's wild.
Is year 11.
It's ridiculous. Can I do a little stat check? Maya, you've been on absolute form here with the statistics. I know Ava Jones, 22. I just feel like, you know, the tūrapa has been quite evident in her game too. How are we looking there on that one?
Yeah, 6 rebounds for Ava. Ophelia Powell, equally as impressive, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
Ooh.
Neve Chamberlain, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of which are on the offensive end. So 17 total offensive tūrapas for Stack, leading to 19 second chance points. You take that away, you take away the lead. So St. Peter's got some dirty work to do. Eva Jeffries.
So Ophelia's flirting with a triple-double potentially, ladies.
Well, just have to see. Tanika Ledger-Walker, her first break of today, only on 2 hara 10 unders, but just needing a little break. So for that time being, Eva Jeffrey is going to shoulder a big offensive load, you'd think. Kayla?
Absolutely. As she nails that first kuru tautuku, does Eva. I think the guards on the St. Peter's end, you know, really working those ball screens or off screens set by the likes of Garland and Costello. They're so good underneath, really active post players. So really just using the screens that they provide on the offensive end to maximise the efficiency of their offensive sets.
Offensive hara against Rafferty Powell. Producer Sam, of course, already on the action replay. Big shout out, big love to producer Sam for all of his mahi.
Now that's sorry to interrupt there, Hoa, but that is 4 personal fouls for Rafferty Powell, it looks like it. So she is just subbed off the bench.
Yeah, producer Sam's been goated. You weren't here this morning, Kayla, but you may have witnessed one of the longest intros needed to be filmed of all time. Not
few
just
takes,
the one take, a few
takes.
takes, yeah, and of no fault of Myers, myself and Andrew just absolutely testing the patience of Matua Sam.
Just rookies out here, Kayla, but we wouldn't know anything about that. All of Motley can't get the delish dish, as Kayla has coined it.
Delish dish. Love a good alliteration. Ko mai tonu te poroa, St. Andrews.
St. Andrews, 5-time New Zealand, sorry, 5-time Christchurch competition champions in a row. Still haven't secured that gold medal on the national stage, looking to do so this year.
And St. Peter's finished 8th in 2023, so just even being here in the semi is already an increase on last year, so that's huge mahi from these wahine toa.
Absolutely. As we see that full court pressure there from St. Peter's. You know, often, I think the unique thing about St. Peter's is often you see teams not full court pressing until potentially the last couple minutes of the whole game, but for them to, you know, they do it the whole game. It's quite a unique part of their style.
Kudu Whiwhituru way long there for Ola Motley. Feels like scoring has just slowed down for St. Andrews, but St. Peter's yet to give back an answer. The absence of Tanika Ledger-Walker makes that difficult. Eva Jeffries, a nice little floater there, back to 14. A little bit interesting now, Greg.
Yeah, I like that very quick maths from you, Maya. Putting 2 and 2 together.
Thank you.
Not literally, just figuratively. And you're right, 2 minutes 12 on the clock. Any parkete is a good parkete for St. Peter's of Cambridge. And if they can get a stop here, that'll go a long way.
And camera up, Richard down there, who has been doing the mahi all morning long. Also doing the mahi is Macy Costello. Finds her butt on the hardwood, but back the other way, 62-48. And with that, Coach Adam has seen enough. So a little run here for St. Peter's, Kayla. What have you seen that they've done differently?
Offensively, look, once again, I think just getting through their sets. They've had a few opportunities as the guard downhill to score from kind of that mid-range area. Eva Jeffrey's got a few floaters in the middle. And then also defensively, they've gotten Rafferty Powell into a bit of foul trouble. She is on 4, a very strong player. Also, I can see that Jones also 4 personal fouls. So a real opportunity for St. Peter's here. If they have a one-on-one situations with either of those players, really important that they apply that pressure and drive as strong as they can, potentially draw that 5th foul and push them to the bench for the rest of the game.
Interesting comparison and statistics here. 42 points in the paint for St. Andrews. Anyone want to take a stab for that of St. Peter's?
Look, I don't know. You'll have to tell me. Maybe 20?
18.
Okay.
So a massive discrepancy there. Obviously helped by their trips to the Paikuru Tautuku 21-28 of free throws for St. Peter's. Just a big grave to dig, and Tanika Ledger-Walker only just returning to the bench now. She'll be in soon, no doubt.
And at what stage, if you're Adam Morgan, do you think we might see the return of Ava Jones? I know firmly parked on the pie now, probably for the rest of this quarter.
Probably, yeah, definitely the rest of this quarter. Maybe early, another couple minutes early in the fourth that she may be off. But I'm sure he will try and get both her and Powell back into the game as Jeffries from deep just can't convert there. Mai te tapa.
St. Peter's struggling from beyond the arc. That is now 3 from 23, just upwards of 10%. As we see the brain trust, Leanne Walker, Tanika Ledger-Walker, Kōrero there. I'm sure we're going to see Tanika back as Regan Gallion gets the steal and the Pakete. It's only at 12, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if they can get that into single digits going into the fourth, that is a win in its own for St. Peter's.
Absolutely, and while their two strong players are off, you know, trying to bridge that.
Oh, travel call.
Momentum shift here as we see a travel. That will be back in the position of St. Peter's. Chance for them to make a run here.
Chance to bring it back within 10. It's been almost at 20 as Ophelia Powell will come back in. Let's see what St. Peter's can do. In the absence of Tanika Ledger-Walker, a very impressive run here for St. Peter's. Ball to Eva Jeffries. She'll jab step, find some space. Everything but gets the offensive two-upper spin.
Oh, Karawe. Te hikoi uropi, no reira ka haere ia ki te kuru tautuku.
2 toilet bowls in a row for Eva Jeffries. Can't get more unlucky than that. But another trip to the Pai Kuru Tautuku, and she has been the driving force behind the St. Peter's comeback.
Absolutely. She loves to lead by example, does Eva, whether that be on the defensive end or trying to get a basket for her team when they need. But she's always very good at staying composed, as you can see her taking her time. And yeah, she does really well at that.
You love to see effort being rewarded there. However, fast break opportunity here for St. Andrews.
Not what you want if you're St. Peter's, is it, Kayla?
No.
Especially coming out of a free throw scenario. Sorry, Kayla.
No, you're all good.
High handoff back to Eva Jeffries, the hot hand herself. Oh, footwork aplenty, but taupare there from Manaya. A chance to again go in transition. Hannah Radford. Oh, just rims out. Couple of toilet bowls. Back to Orla Motley and gets the roll back out to 15. Greg, how encouraging is that for St. Andrews?
Yeah, that was a huge pakete there. I tell you what, the tupper is absolutely been covered in molten because, I tell you what, as you said, toilet bowls, it has gone in, around, and everything in between on the tupper. Sometimes, unfortunately, not through the net, which more often not is the case for St. Peter's, but again, drawing a foul, it stops the clock and chance to have the scoreboard tick over.
Eva Jeffries, 8 from 13 from the free throw line. Buries that one there.
Pai te mea tuatahi.
Wondering when we're going to see the return of Tanika. As Eva, 2 from 2 that time, a little better.
Pai te mea tuarua.
What you'd believe to be the last possession of this quarter for St. Andrews.
Big stop needed here from St. Peter's.
In the Rohikuru, Hannah Radford finds a gap. Massive wall up, clock winding down. Eva Jeffries, Regan.
Fifi toru. Karawe. Ka taka te tefa tefa. Karawe, Regan.
Just like that, it is back to 10. A massive kuru Fifi toru. Let's take another look at that. Deservedly so. Eva Jeffries, the delish dish. How good is that, Kayla, going into this last quarter, trailing by 10 and doing so without Tanika Ledger-Walker?
Look, it's exactly what they needed coming into the start of this fourth quarter. Just a little bit of a pep in their step now as they've bridged that gap. They are 10 points down, but a comfortable position for St. Peter's. We've seen them come back. St. Andrews have 2 very strong players, Jones and Powell, both in foul trouble. So, you know, they're looking very strong as we come into that fourth. I'd love to see what Jeffries did there, driving into the key, 2-foot jump stop, kick to the corner. Very simple basketball. As we can see, the Napier boys just warming up for their next game. The second semi-final of our men's double A, and it is going to be a good one, Maya.
It has been all gas, no breaks here in Fly Palmy Arena. 3 rippers so far of semi-finals, and this is not the end of the entertainment. The St. Kitts woman, the Mana Wave from Killarney. On the flip side, Greg, now only up by 10, we're up by 17 at one point. What adjustments does Coach Adam need to make? A quick shout out to our Rosmini boys and the bald heads.
Yeah, I tell you what, we've got bald heads out there. We've got a bald head in the Andrew Harris, the bald voice himself here, joining us in the commentary box, just poring over the stats. And I tell you what, I thought the delish dish of the day was going to be the chicken and chips. However, it has been leading to an incredible kuruwhiwhi toru there, and we are set up here for a incredible fourth quarter. Ladies, how good has this one been? From a commentary perspective, it is awesome to see a close game. I know that you are both from the respective communities, one might say, or the areas. How do you think things are looking in both the Waikato region and Canterbury right now?
I mean, such proud associations back home for sure, and Waikato and Canterbury with massively good track records on a national stage. Both teams performing very well, especially as of recent, as Tanika Ledger-Walker will inbound to begin the last quarter. Definitely some proud whānaus back home, and shout out to Whakata Māori for providing that entertainment. We are underway here. Last quarter action. Eva Jeffries just off the tapa, but you like that look, a chance to bring it within 7 there, Kayla.
An open look is a good look. You know, often a coach might say, don't shoot it too early in the shot clock, but there are instances where if it is a good shooter, if it's an open look, 3 seconds into the shot clock could be considered a good shot. And I think in that instance, with the shooting abilities of Jeffries and how open it was a good look. As we see another kuruwhiwhi toru, mai te tapa, kua mau te poro te kapa St. Peter's, with a little crossover there from Regan.
Better rebounding efforts as well here from St. Peter's. Tanika Ledger-Walker back out on the floor. Oh, a lot of noise from the crowd. Eva Jeffries just cannot get that finish to go. You like the footwork.
Absolutely.
Out in transition. And back in the hands of Regan Gallion. Uh-oh, this could be trouble. Eva Jeffries off the Papamuri. It's a single-digit game, Greg. Oh my goodness, what are your thoughts? What do you think Stack's thinking right now?
I think they're thinking we've got an easy bucket here at the other end, and what a way to answer. But wow, that would have been huge for St. Peter's Cambridge if they were maybe able to then get a stop at the other end, but we're seeing some end-to-end points of kohu here, ladies.
Absolutely.
Eva Jeffries to Macy. Little bit messy, finds her way to the Pakiteno, but it will be stay with St. Peter's. And Rafferty Powell, interestingly, in the game, you think he's going to take the gamble for the rest of the 8.5 minutes, Greg?
Yeah, you got to roll the dice. I mean, it's that time of the day. We're in the fourth quarter, and sometimes it's going to be who dares wins, Maya.
It's going to go the way of St. Andrews, tipped away. Ref Gigi Gardner-Holmes official deeming it St. Andrews College ball. Big love to our team in grey for all their mahi. Ophelia Powell to her sister Ella Sharp back up the top. Great movement of the portal. Ophelia likes that gap. That is a tough finish. What can you do about that, Kayla?
Look, you got to once again scout, probably knowing that they're very versatile. So just making sure those Powell sisters don't get an open look, as Regan, mai te kuruwhiwhi toru.
Had the hot hand. Macy Costello, a beast.
Karawe, tūrapa ki te kuru.
A beast on the boards is Macy Costello, back to 10, a member of the 3x3 World Cup team earlier this year. Ophelia Powell off the Papamuri, our first hara tinana of this quarter.
Just doing her best Angel Reese impersonation there, just fighting for the tūrapa.
I like the WNBA reference there, Greg. Very well educated.
Well done, Greg. Following women's sports, and can I say, the coverage that the WNBA got, I think the viewing was more than that of the men. And look, I don't mean to be biased here, but I love it as a wahine. I love it.
Look what I'm going to say, Lizzo, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
To that.
We just dapped in the commentary box. You can't see us, but I bet you heard it.
Yeah, we're in the sisterhood. That's us.
Give me a dap too, Greg.
Sisterhood of the travelling pants. What's up?
Speaking of sister, that was a bit of a sister to sister. Bit of a sister act too, if you know what I mean, Greg.
Don't quote movie references around Maya. It'll go over.
Manaya Tofu there with a taupare. Away in transition. Ophelia Powell just racking up the fouls drawn.
Kwahamenetia Regan. That was a foul on Regan, but good job there. I think she did well. It can be really difficult in transition, as you can see on that replay, to be, to block them or to, get whatever you can. But she was moving. Look, it was a good defensive play from Regan. Just maybe a foul call there.
Fourth foul drawn for Ophelia Powell. Does a good job at getting to the tapa and burying her kudu takus. A 14-point lead. Seesaw action here, Greg.
Yeah, Ophelia Powell. We see a foul called there. But yeah, Ophelia Powell has, just whilst we have had St. Peter's.
That's 5 personal fouls. She is off the game. 7 minutes to go in this last. This is an opportunity for St. Peter's. That is a hard one there for St. Andrews, but yep, an opportunity nonetheless.
It's massive for St. Andrews College. Rafferty Powell, obviously a starter, a big part of this team. Can they capitalise St. Peter's? Eva Jeffries can't find a gap. Ball back in the hands of Tanika. Feels like a long time since she had the ball. Kudu Whiwhitoru all ear on that one.
Kaorihiangi to Ingari, kia kaha.
Coach Adam very animated for his squad. Always a good thing when you force a good shooter into an airballed shot. Let's see what Stack have in their bag of tricks here as Neve Chamberlain finds the gap, drops the dime. Hara Tinanas, the issue. 3 fouls in 3 minutes. What does that mean for St. Peter's here, Kayla, as they try to dig themselves out of a grave? Something they need to adjust to? What do you think they need to do?
Yeah, that's really hard there. There was that backdoor cut, so I think in that instance, if you're the defender and your man is on the weak side, you always have to see where the ball is and where your man is. So not going too high. If you do the work early on defense, you don't get in situations where you then have to, try and get a quick last-minute block. So probably just being proactive early on the defensive end as we see that just going so strong. Ledger Walker.
2 words, weight room, Neve Chamberlain, and there she is. Tanika Ledger Walker being full denied for the entirety of this quarter. Finally getting her first look. Let's have another look on the action replay. Very shifty as Tanika Ledger Walker somehow found that gap. And how dangerous could it be for St. Andrews College here, Greg, if Tanika can get going?
Well, that's right. It was a 10-point difference at the break. It's crept out now to, I believe, did Tanika just make that? Yeah, there we go. So that's
16.
I was going to say that's brought them back into it a little bit.
Yeah,
no, but
sorry.
Thank you for the mathematics.
I got you, my bro.
And now it is 15. Greg?
Hey, speaking of which, Kayla, you had a very huge night last night, picking up a big award yourself.
Yes.
I know you like to keep it humble, but what happened there?
Look, it was an awards dinner, but look, Greg, I think we can talk about it after because we have a semi-final at hand here.
Greg.
I was trying to deflect, but yeah, 15 points, you're right, ladies, and a chance here for St. Peter's to get into that again.
Segway King as Eva Jeffries pulls from beyond the arc, way off to the left, and eruptions from the Stack bench. They are up 15, 6 minutes to go. Again, not insurmountable for St. Peter's, but they're going to have to do some mahi, and they're going to have to do it quick, Kayla.
Absolutely, and we've seen this. The St. Peter's team can score, and they also can apply pressure on the defensive end. So I think it's just a matter of not, it is 6 minutes. A lot can happen in 6 minutes, though. So it's a matter of not rushing their offense and making sure that they take good, solid shots, because 6 minutes, that's a lot of time.
Back the other way now. St. Peter's, that's exactly what you need to string together some stops, but important that they convert on the other end as well.
Yeah, with Eva Jones sitting on the bench, still really time for St. Peter's to try and capitalise on that, sitting there with the 4 fouls.
Do you think that might be a business decision, Greg? Coach Adam may be confident that his team is going to reach the final just on cue as I speak about him. a technical foul awarded, and he's going to take full responsibility for that one. So Eva Jeffries with a single kuru tautaku.
I have noticed that there have been quite a few technical fouls, you know, they're being called more and more, and that is, you know, I will shout out the refs for the consistency at which they've called the game this tournament, and that is the one thing as a coach, as a player, you just want consistency. But I think it's been good because you don't see, you know, way back when you'd often have coaches, you know, going at referees, and you haven't really seen that this tournament. So the sportsmanship and, you know, the way in which people conduct themselves, from managers to the coaches to the score bench to the refs and the players, it's been enjoyable. Like, there's good sportsmanship, and I think it's probably good if a coach is maybe getting too, you know, into it, that it's, you know, quickly cut off by the ref. But he acknowledged that one too.
Yeah, great to see the passion there from Coach Adam.
Absolutely.
Just needs to, of course, rein it in a little bit, and like you said, Kayla, very well aware of the fact, and great job from our young GJ Gardner-Holmes. I believe it is our youngest panel we've seen so far of referees to stand their ground and not be afraid. As we see another Hara, Ophelia Powell, her 5th foul drawn today. Very impressed with what you've seen so far from her there, Greg.
Extremely impressed. She may have also hit City Fitness this morning, trained back, because she has carried this St Andrews College team since, you know, her teammate and sister there, Ava Jones, was on the bench. And I tell you what, it's been tremendously impressive what she's done so far.
Ophelia Powell, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals and a block, not to mention 5 fouls drawn. Eva Jeffries very much trying to make things work. And interestingly as well, Tanika Leger-Walker back on the bench, not in any particular foul trouble, as a white heke here from Leanne Walker. I think that is very interesting, Kayla. Tanika Leger-Walker, the stalwart of this team, the captain, the leading scorer. They're down 15, 5 minutes to go. Is that a business decision? What do you think that's about?
Look, I don't know. It can be hard. Sometimes we can, you know, she's one of the leading scorers here at this tournament. You can have periods where you either, you know, something's not going, you're not sure if there's something else happening as she's just on the end of the bench. But yeah, it can also be a lot of pressure if you're a leading scorer to have, you know, that expectation that, you know, you need to drop 30 points. And I think that's an instance where you really fall back on the team and the depth that St. Peter's do provide, you know, because there was instances in college too when I was playing, and, you know, I was just a 3-point shooter, but I had games where I couldn't hit by a basket, and sometimes that can be a lot of pressure. And it can be quite hard to play through. So, look, I don't know exactly, but, yeah, no doubt if she gets back on, she will give it her absolute best.
You know, I think Adam Morgan would have been really wrestling with those internal thoughts there as that lead was at 10. St. Peter's had momentum, and we're thinking at that point, do we need to get Ava Jones back out there? But now, again, out to 15. Not a big necessity to get her, or urgency, I should say, to get Ava back out there.
A good crowd building here in Fly Palmy Arena. A lot of it supporting Whānau, and I'm sure we'll see some noise from the crowd as this game tails out and as the Rosmini Napier boys semi-final gets underway. 5:45. Remember to tune into that on Whakata Māori, as Ophelia Powell stripped by Regan Gallion, and quite an odd-looking jump ball.
Ai, kua riro i ai te poro, pai te mahi a Regan. She just got that nice steal there. But it will remain in the hands of St. Andrews College at the baseline.
I'm sure the Amateur Leapfrog Association would have enjoyed that one.
How do you even come up with stuff like this, Greg?
Hey, I've been listening to you guys, your thoughts and your basketball minds are amazing. So I'm just trying to add a little bit here and there with a comical twist.
Now try and stay at the same accommodation as this guy for 5 days in a row.
How good was my bedroom? No, that sounded so wrong. Apologies. Oh, wow. I'll take that back. I meant the cleanliness. How about this basketball game, eh? Poita kohu.
That will be St. Andrews' possession there, as you can just see on that replay. Stepped out of bounds.
Geez Louise, back underway. 4 minutes.
Ai, whameneti toi ana ki te mitunga o tēnei kemu. Kua hamenetia a Eva, no reira ka haere ia ki te pai kuru tautaku.
Manaia, a member of the under-15 New Zealand team, heading away late next month to the Oceania Cup. Few blocks off the bench for her, I believe. Let's have a fact check. Yeah, there's 2 blocks off the bench, 5 points and 6 rebounds for Manaia.
That's big.
We tap into that inside of yours too, Maya. I know you're just flicking through the stats. Very, very good at, you know, things just jumping off the page. Anything in particular that we're seeing as we see a subs in, but a chance, a break to pick your brain?
52 points in the paint as opposed to 24 for St. Peter's, so a massive discrepancy there, and 21 offensive rebounds, leading to 23 second chance points. For me, that's been the deciding factor for St. Andrews. This is a very good scoring team, and if they don't do it the first time around, they're likely to do it on the second or third time around. And this here as well, fast break points and the ability to capitalize on turnovers. Ophelia Powell, her 6th foul drawn and her 22nd point of today. So impressive for what I've seen from her. Let's take another look at that.
It's something they must train as the 3-man wave over and over, as really capitalizing on those fast break opportunities.
81-62, just under 4 minutes to go. You start to feel as though this one may be slipping away from St. Peter's, Kayla.
Yeah, it can be quite deflating sometimes if you have a bit of a drought and, you know, the other team's getting on a roll. Game's still not over, but they will need to start, you know, hitting some big shots here.
I was really hoping she was going to hit that, Kayla, just to add to what you were saying there. Would have been right on the money, the timing, immaculate.
Try my best. As Regan. Oh, tētahi hara a Regan.
Regan, a few fouls I've seen recently, and that is her 5th hara of the game. But what a fight from Regan Gallion. Kayla, what have you liked from what she's done today?
Look, like the Kiwaha, Ahakoa he iti he pounamu. Although she is small, she is mighty. As you can see just on the bench there, she may be a little bit upset, but Regan, you've done your best. And at the end of the day, you know, this is a semi-final of a national tournament. You always want to come away with a win. You always want it to be your game. But the reality of sport, it can be cruel and it can be, you know, might just not be the day. But fantastic effort from Regan on the defensive end. And, yep, she needs to leave with her chin held high, irrespective of what the outcome of this game is.
Couldn't agree more, as St. Peter's trail by 23.5 minutes to go. Need some parquetes, or is it going to well and truly slip out of their hands? Eva Jeffries is doing everything she can and more, as that'll do.
Rawe, ka tahi anō. Ka haere ia ki te pai kuru tautoko.
82-64, 3 and some change to go. Macy Costello off the Papamuri, almost just granny shot that one up. She turned around as if though to say, I'm very surprised that one managed to go down.
Yeah, we'll do a little stat check for me. I feel like she must be flirting with a double-double at least. I know she's up to 11 points as Costello, but I just feel like she's been on the tūrapa.
Pai tērā
11
maka.
points, 10 rebounds for Macy Costello. You got it right, Greg. You should be very proud of yourself.
A little pucky for myself there. I'll take that. Thank you very much, ladies.
It's about time you did something useful.
Yeah, after that
Matua tūhoi.
that 5th foul error before, I will not be allowed to forget that one, but here we go. 3 minutes. We're about to go under 3 minutes here, ladies.
Kei te kōkiri whakamua, Jeffries.
And a travel called against Eva, and it just feels like this might be going the way of St. Andrews College. You never want to speak too soon, but what a performance from them today. Greg, what have you enjoyed seeing from the St. Andrews College side? 82 points, a pretty impressive feat, and to keep St. Peter's at 64.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, with 3 minutes on the clock, Coach Morgan still not electing to put Ava Jones back into the game. Maybe not necessary, but these girls have been impressive. As you said,
Kuru Fifi Toru. Mai te wainganui o te taone. She shot that from the middle of town.
Yeah, what has impressed me, just stuff like that. Something that really stood out is their transition basketball. Incredible. Such amazing athletes.
With 2.5 minutes left, is anyone in the commentary box brave enough to call game? Anyone brave enough to call game?
No, it's not over until the game's over, I say.
Greg, your thoughts?
We're just going to have a check out that kuruwhiwhi toru all the time in the world to set herself, and no tapa involved there whatsoever.
Kei te Kimiro Taki.
Nice find there from Neve Chamberlain, and a tough finish off the Papa Muri. Has been all things that the ladies in white nearing that 90-point mark. A hara in the backcourt, and that'll be the fourth of the quarter for St Andrews. Ola Motley will go off, and a welcomed receival to the bench for her. Some very warm claps, very warm faces. I think St Andrews probably feel pretty good about the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, I know what. I'm standing with a Cantabrian and a Hamiltonian, and I can see that the Cantabrian is standing up, loving her mahi right now.
Look, I have played with a few of these girls in my Chicas Women's Prems competition down in Canterbury, so some fellow teammates of mine, the St Andrews College team, have loved seeing their mahi over the year, and to see them perform on a national stage, it definitely does warm your heart. You know, these are some of your good friends then performing on the national stage. Pretty cool for me to watch.
Back-to-back champions through that Checkers team that you referred to, Maya Williamson.
Yeah, and Ophelia Powell, part of that team, looking to go back to back-to-back finals appearances and maybe their first gold medal even.
Karawe, mai te kona, mo te kuruwhiwhi toru. Made that look
and Ophelia
effortless.
would be lethal.
Yeah, pretty deadly PG duo. Definitely more deadly for her than for me, but right on cue, there she is. Downhill at the tapa. Great wall-up defense there for St Peter's. 1.5 minutes to go away in transition.
Could things have been a bit more different if we'd seen some of that incredible defense that was just on display in that first 3 quarters, maybe, ladies?
It begs the question, doesn't it? As an offensive tūrapa and a hara tinana Alice Julie. It feels as though we can probably now say Stack have booked their ticket.
Yeah, and it's difficult as well when you start to chase the game, you start to force the issue, and you're right, hara upon hara being called here, and I hate to say it, 20 points with 1:22. Kayla, I'm ready to put a fork in it.
I still can't say it, guys. I still can't say it.
That's just the mana that you have from the Waikato. Never say die, never say never.
A great fight, though, from both talented sides, and St Andrews College will progress to see Westlake in the grand final, but that is not to mention the incredible basketball that we've seen on behalf of St Peter's, and what a great journey it is. I don't think anybody talks about enough in the loss of a semi-final how impressive a top 4 finish in the country is.
Absolutely. It's one thing to qualify, as we see that beautiful floater there from Jeff Fries. It's one thing to qualify, you know, in the regionals tournament, and another to make top 8 and another to make top 4. So, you know, it's when it comes to the top 4, there's lots of factors that play into it. You know, one, you know, it's got to be your day. Depends how the other team's going. How did you sleep last night? What did you eat? All of these, how is everyone feeling? So all of these other factors play in. And that's why sport is sport, and it can be so challenging because you can have a great lead up to a tournament, but often the stars need to align for teams, and not that luck plays a factor at all, but you know, you do your best to put yourself in the best possible situation, and I'm sure, you know, St Peter's have done their best to be in the best situation for them, but you know, today it just wasn't their day. But hey, they will still have a 3rd and 4th to play for.
Indeed, still a medal on ways for St Peter's, possibly, depending on how tomorrow goes, as the dime to Mania, but she cannot finish. St Peter's College will take on Tauranga Girls College in the bronze medal match tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing that matchup. Obviously a lot of star power going on, and can we just talk about the amazing caliber of our wahine rangatahi here at tournament. Some absolute hoopers.
Absolutely.
Bailey Flavel, Tanika, Eva, Ophelia, Ava, so many more. So impressed with what I've seen so far.
And putting up video game numbers as well, almost, you know. I said it earlier about that 60 piece from, you know, Bailey Flavel. Unreal. I know you said Mana Martin as well, put up a school record yesterday, I think 64, I believe?
64 points against Pookie. As the clock will wind down, Macy.
Stuff the stat sheet then, Macy. I love it.
Fair enough.
Till the end.
Macy, and with that, St Andrews College have booked their ticket for the third year in a row as they will inbound it to finish 88-74 is the scoreline, and congratulations to St Andrews College. A chance to go one better, back to back to back finalists. Congratulations, ladies. Well played from St Peter's. We're going to take a quick break and be back on the other side for our last semi-final Friday. Rosemary and Napier boys.
How good. Ka kite anō, kia mautonu mai e hoa ma. Hei a koa nei.
Nice one too.
Ai. Ko te whakapiki wairua te mea nui kia hau nei.
Nui ake ngā hua mō tua. That's us.
Tāku kia koe, bro. Te reo Māori anake te reo I whai pūtea ai. Aku mahi katoa.
Tau.
Bringing the fire every week.
The whole system is man, that's what it is.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
We just want to welcome everyone here today, all you beautiful Whanganui people.
These hoops are pretty mean, eh?
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Hey, I'm Dylan Boucher from Basketball New Zealand, here at Kakaramia School. Just having some great fun with the kids here with our Hoops and Schools programs. Your school can be one of these schools having the fun with our Tall Blacks and Tall Ferns and local NBL and Tauihi teams. Nothing but fun going on out here, prizes given away, kids making shots, laughter, fun, that's what it's all about.
Over the past 2 years alone, we've managed to install nearly 50 hoops across 25 Taranaki schools in the region. Not only are we providing opportunities for tamariki and rangatahi to participate, we're also proving the sustainability of the program itself as we continue to grow momentum right across the motu.
Hoops and Schools continues to deliver amazing opportunities for kids all over New Zealand, giving them access to basketball no matter where they are.
We're really grateful for having the Hoops and Schools program in Taranaki. We are bursting at the seams in terms of facilities. We have something like 100 plus primary and intermediate school teams. Providing these hoops to the kids fitted in with the whole growth of the game. I know that having these hoops in the schools will just support the whole program and see the future growth of the game.
And go! Just fill up at a participating Caltex, stack your pump discounts, and you could collect more savings on your next visit. Oh, there's another one. Getting quite good at this. Filling and saving. Feels good.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this privately owned swimming centre that was still in the planning stages. The owner spent 8 years trying to make the project viable, but the design was continually over budget, a design he was paying for. So he called Apollo to help, because he trusted us to deliver. We got to know the critical success factors of the business. The current building plans had lost sight of what was needed. We took a fresh approach, starting with the most important aspect of the facility, the water bodies. Then balanced the critical success factors of function, form, and cost to bring the designs in on budget. Finally, we could deliver the owner the new facility he needed. At Apollo, we understand your key success factors, put function over form if required, deliver what is needed at the highest quality, have lower operating costs, and always have very happy clients. Like this one, who was pretty stoked. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up.
No mai, haere mai, welcome back to Fly Palmy Arena for boys AA semi-final number 2, and we have a heavyweight matchup in this one. Rosmini College taking on Napier Boys High School. Ko Andrew Horrocks Toko Ingoa alongside Kayla Manu Irarangi and Maya Williamson. Firstly, Maya on your side. As we look at Napier Boys just before, as you get into the team list, what are you looking forward to seeing from them?
I mean, there is the famous name of Jackson Ball from Napier Boys. Also really liking what I'm seeing from Zoram Smiler and Maz Taylor, and some very good supporting pieces around that. Over to you, Kayla.
Inaina, Te Kapa Rosmini College. Firstly, we have Kevin Goldstein, Maddie Dalton, Hunter Johns, Samuel Law, Xavier Wells, Cooper Holm, Bartosz Jakowski, Christopher Wiley, Joshua Wiley, Indy Marshall, Jameer Reed, Sunny Nair, and coached by Sunny Tuaputa and assisted coached by Theo Johnson.
Okay, you've watched a bit of Rosmini during this tournament. Who are the players to look out for on that side?
Look, you can't go too much further past the Wiley brothers. They shot the lights out in their pool game that I got to watch. And Jameer Reed, you can't go past him, another member of the NZ Under-17 World Cup team.
Maya for Napier.
Napier Boys, we have Zoram Smiler, Maz Taylor, Harry Keeley, Case Ball, Manawa Karina, Harley Joblin, Isaac Ash, Lennox Singh, Jackson Ball, Eddie Deck, Isaac Allen, and Kyle Adams, coached by legendary Aidan Daly and assisted by James Hanani. Very looking forward to, like I said, Jackson Ball, but the entire starting five of this Napier Boys high school team, very solid, and I think that's why they've made it so far. The depth, as we see our coach Team Grey referees, Blake Woznowski and Elijah Mardico. Very excited for this one. I don't know about you guys.
Well, you could argue that the coaches on the court, because they're the ones telling the players what they can and cannot do. As we have a look at some of the Napier Girls High School team who are here to support the boys. Kayla, how excited are you for this one? Obviously not that long ago that it was you down on this court. How does it feel to be back?
Well, nostalgic is the word, to say the least. But no, it's been an awesome week of basketball, you guys. We've had 6 days of live stream basketball, so shout out to Whakata Māori for streaming 3 courts. That's awesome. 10 years ago, there was 1 live stream court. That was probably just a semi in the final. So, you know, we've been saying it all week, but it's really awesome, the coverage that we have here. And this is a highly anticipated game. So, look, I'm very excited. We have Rosmini over there, undefeated this tournament thus far, if I am correct. And Maya, tell me a bit about this Napier boys team.
I mean, we know the infamous name of Jackson Ball, had a pretty good tournament so far. 42 points against Wellington College, 45 against Palmy North, 16 only last night against Auckland Grammar. But there are very good supporting pieces that make this Napier team so strong. Zoram Smiler, a DP with the Hawke's Bay Hawks this year, and again, a talented scorer. That Harry Keeley, a great length to add to the squad. Manawa Karina doing all the 1%ers, and Maz Taylor, he is the quickest guard that I think I've seen at this tournament. So the depth there for Napier, very strong.
Quicker than James Matthews?
He'd be up there.
Kayla, can I push you for a prediction in this one?
Gosh, look, I've watched more of Rosmi than I have Napier. I did get to see Ball out, no pun intended, in under-18 nationals early in the year. Phenomenal player, so I'm excited to see. I'm sure he'll be leading his troops, but Rosmini are a great team. They have a lot of depth. And I've seen them in that game that they played in their pool against Waimea. They never let the other team get too much of a lead, so they're very good. You know, if there's a scoring drought defensively, they lock down. So I think they're a very resilient team.
Napier boys are going to be almost in the blue sunset singlets, going from light to dark, and then Rosmini will be in the white. Maya, final word from you pre-game. Where do you see this heading?
I think if Rosmini can execute to a high level and shoot efficiently, I think it'll be them, but not without a good fight. And if Jackson Ball can turn it on, he can win games single-handedly.
So it is going to be Keeley up against Jakowski for the jump ball. Winner takes on Christ College 2022 champions. Rosmini left to right, and they will win the tip into the hands of Wiley. As we see man-to-man defense early on from Napier off the on ball. Jakowski off the pin down, just deciding what to do here. Kicks to Reed in the 36 for 36 Dominion, where Rosmini is located. Pulls up. And great first defensive possession there, Maya.
Yeah, Napier will be very much happy with that, forcing Jameer into a late shot clock contested 3. I don't think you can ask for much more for your opening defensive possession.
Off the on ball there, no roller. Happy to just go into dribble handoffs. Rosmini going over, Taylor pulls up. And Kayla, same thing for Rosmini, good defense there.
Absolutely, as you see, Jakowski does a fantastic job. He's a hard worker for this Rosmini team. Good job at doing those little 1% of things that don't stuff the stat sheet necessarily, those box out, those rebounds, those seals. He's really effective inside.
And thankfully we have numbers as Maz Taylor goes to the hoop. But with the Wileys, they are actually triplets.
Oh.
Josh number 2, Chris number 10. As the first kuruwhiwhi toru is good for Jakowski.
Ka taka te tefa tefa, the dagger, as Jakowski nails that 3.
Jackson Ball versus Jameer Reed is going to be a matchup to watch in this one. Here's Taylor on the left wing, little crossover. Happy to operate out of the high post here, Napier boys. Jackson Ball to the hoop.
Kawaii.
And that's what you want if you're Napier boys. Great movement of the portal to open the driving lane, and too easy for Jackson Ball. Oh my goodness, almost shattering the glass Papa Muri as Jameer Reed.
Look, we love to see that aggression downhill. That was a move.
Ball again, kuruwhiwhi toru, what a hot start, Maya.
Jackson Ball, that man can ball. If he can continue to stay hot, that is extremely hard to guard. Not really anybody in the country who has found the answer.
And a block there from Harry Keeley. And the boys from Napier feeling very confident in this start as we have another look here. at the block. Good ball rotation and just meeting at the apex. Reed again, Kuruwhiwhi, Toru is long. Here comes Taylor for Napier boys. Happy to go against his number counterpart, and Maya. Napier happy just to play in the half court.
Yeah, well, they've shown a very much slow, patient game so far in the half court, like you said, moving that ball well and then trying to find high percentage shots for their high percentage guide. So not really a bad strategy, although I know that they can turn it on in transition as well.
Oh, e taukuri e tino pairo atu te Kuruwhiwhi toru a Wiley. We've seen it done. The Wiley brothers absolutely lit it up in their pool game that I saw. That's a scout right there. He cannot have an open three.
Smiler just loses his footing. Taylor off the Keeley on ball, tries to split the double team. Inside at Reed. Positive start, Maya.
Harry Keeley, also someone who can get going. Nice footwork in the rohi kuru. Very nice touch off the Pawhamiri, and there he is there with the tūrapa. He's a nice piece, and obviously with Jackson Ball drawing away some help defense, there's a more gap there for Harry Keeley.
As you see, Matty Dalton getting it ready to check in for Rosman. His ball turns the corner, going at John, spins, draws the hunter, and one.
Jackson Ball, man. I don't even know if there's an answer for a kid like that.
As we have a look here on the action, a replay just spins around Reed, and John's going both ways. This is no Zoolander operation. He can turn left.
That was good from you, my guy.
I don't get it.
Pai, tino tata.
Kayla got it. That's all I needed. I just needed one. Here is Wiley off the on ball. Jakowski, that is a deep Kuruwhiwhi toru.
Mai te tapa.
Here is ball for Napier boys. Up against Matty Dalton. No doubt older brother Chaz and older sister Taylor are watching. His ball just goes straight through him.
Mate, he is unreal. Not only can he shoot the ball well from beyond the arc, but such an intelligent knack to get to the tapa, just like his New Zealand World Cup teammate, Jameer Reed.
Now, we saw Jameer, like, he is so effective with his little shot fakes that he gets in there, knew where the defender was. Just that patience there, real maturity there from Reed as he converts that, and he will go to the line for one kuru tautaku.
No doubt older sister Tara would say she taught him that.
Yeah, shout out to Tera and his mum Justine, part of the kahu as well. Speaking of which, for all of our Wahine supporters, we have our Tauihi League starting tonight.
Here's Taylor looking for Keeley, spins. Good wall up there, Caleb.
Absolutely, strong defense.
Here is Reed out of the post, spins, and is doubled. John's Kuruwhiwhi toru.
Ka mau te wehi.
And suddenly Rosmini storm into the lead, 12-11, nearly halfway gone in quarter number one.
Yeah, Rosmini look really good when they move the ball. They've got so much depth in the five on the court.
Taylor Kuruwhiwhi, no good. And that's going to be a Rosmini ball. Maya, what do you think Napier need to do just to get back in the ascendancy in this game, as the score has actually been corrected to 11 apiece?
As we see Justine Reed, a 09 legend in the crowd there. I mean, I don't think there's anything necessarily they need to adjust to. I think it's just been a good little comeback run here for Rosmini. Both teams playing pretty good basketball at the moment, so it's just keeping that foot on the gas and keep taking high percentage shots.
Kuruwhiwhi toru, ka rawe, ka taka te tefa tefa.
Jameer Reed once again part of that fabled group this year that finished fourth at the World Cup. Taylor off the on-ball, little bit of a show there from Rosmini as Smiler spins to Taylor once again. Kuruwhiwhi toru. And Albert Mai, you like that aggressiveness?
Maz Taylor can shoot the ball, so I'm going to encourage him to continue to shoot it, and a high IQ recognition there from Zoram Smiler. They are hard denying Jackson Ball in the corner, so more space for Zoram to attack downhill. And if he's going to find a shooter all day long, I'd be happy with that. I'm sure he's going to start to fall soon.
What a play by Jackson Ball to catch it. Here's Taylor out of the corner. Kuruwhiwhi toru once again. Tūrapa into the hands of Rosmini, and away comes Wiley. Pulls up himself. And it's going to be saved by Napier. But Napier need to pick up a little bit earlier there.
yeah, you want to have as much backcourt presence as you can if you're Napier, and this is the issue here. Any space in transition, they like to feast on DeRosmini. Jackson Ball active with his hands.
Christopher Wiley there just gets stripped. Stripped. Kayla, you gotta like the aggressiveness though as a former point guard, or still current point guard yourself, although albeit in the 3x3 space.
Yeah, we do like the urgency. And, you know, as you saw that Wiley shot in transition, just once again with Scout knowing who can pull up. And, you know, it was an early shot, but, yeah, a good look for someone who is a shooter like himself, as we have 17 left on the shot clock here.
Here's Joshua Wiley, finds Matty Dalton, is stripped. And away comes Smiler for Napier boys, down 3 here in quarter 1. Maya noticing Jackson Ball really liking to operate out of that right-hand side.
Yeah, obviously they're not trying to get the portal to him straight away, but those DHOs seem to kind of do the trick, as we see a long Kuriwhipi Toru. He is catching the ball every time off a DHO, so that no catch, as Chris Riley to the tupper, and we're going to see our first Waheke, to no surprise, a 5-point lead for Rosmini.
Why do you think that was needed, Maya?
I mean, I think a little scoring run there, as we're going to see Chris Wiley, I believe that is.
Just levitating like Dua Lipa.
You've already used that reference today, Andrew.
Shout out Josh Batty. I know he's listening, was a member of the Rosmini team last year. Loves a bit of Dua Lipa, does Josh?
Very impressed from what I'm seeing from Rosmini so far, and I think they've scored in multiple different ways, as we see Mike Lacey of the Lacey Lowdown there.
Absolute legend. Kayla, what have Rosmini done so well to create this 5-point lead?
Look, I think the nature of this Rosmini team is they are very well balanced, very well spread. I'm sure they have multiple players in their team that would average more than double figures, whereas this other team very much reliant on balls. So for Rosmini, when they use their depth, they look really good. And I think defensively, making sure that Ball doesn't get in any easy touches, because when the ball's in his hand, good things happen. So from a defensive end, making sure that they just lock down on him, not giving him any easy looks, no threes, no easy laps in transition.
Take a look at the crowd. Saw before, local legend Phil Henderson, now residing up in Harbour. Shout out as well to Taylor Dalton, who is tuning in, playing for Gonzaga this year. Love to have her playing Tauihi League in future years.
Surely next year, after year 5.
Surely for the Kahu.
It'd be pretty hard to turn that down, given what Tauihi has made itself to be.
Here's Taylor for Napier boys.
Really like this full court man pressure that Rosmini are applying.
Definitely a staple of that school and how they like to play their basketball. Jameer Reed doing a great job getting through there. Steal by Wiley at Taylor.
Gorgeous English off the glass, or should I say real off the glass. That was fantastic from Wiley. As we surely get a replay there. Koriroi ai te poro. Kei te kōkiri whakamua, mai te papamuri karawe.
Very important for Napier boys to execute their decisions and passes under that kind of pressure. They have to expect that Rosmini are going to apply pressure on the DHOs and on any perimeter catch. So they have to know to stay calm, and teammates on the perimeter, little seal, get open and move the portal.
Here's ball on the left-hand side up against Jakowski. No on ball required. Looking for the cutting Smiler and finds him.
My gosh.
Lovely stuff, Maya.
Again, much better there from Napier, a lot calmer, and when Jackson Ball has the portal in his hands, he can just create. And again, so much attraction towards him, people lose sight of the other pieces that Napier has, and they can look to capitalise on that advantage.
Ball back on his favoured right side, and just getting caught here are Napier boys as Rosmini ramp up the pressure on the ball. 3 seconds. Long Kuriwhipi Toru attempt. Maya, what could they have created there to be more efficient?
You'd like to see them get to the paint and do so effectively. A long heave at the end of the shot clock is not preferable in any offense, even if it is Jackson Ball taking that shot. I would love to see Zoram Smiler in some kind of high on-ball action. We'll see that one more time. Zoram Smiler, very effective penetrating downhill, so maybe he can get some touches and he can get some paint looks.
Kayla, even though there was a turnover there, you got to like that 45 cut from Rosmini.
Absolutely. They got 2 feet in the paint as well. It's a good look. In one of those instances, it just fumbled out of his hand.
Smiler kicks it up. Kudu Fifi Toru. Good look there, Maya.
Isaac Allen did come on in the game that I saw them play against St. Kitts and knock down back-to-back Kudu Fifi Toru. So that is a high-quality shot for a high-quality shooter.
Right, he hara tera, kua hamene tea te nama a tahi a Napier.
That is going to be the third hara on Napier boys. Physical battle thus far.
I mean, you don't expect anything less from a boys semi-final, that's for sure.
Wiley can't convert, and away come Napier boys through Smiler. Rosmini doing a good job getting back and matching up. Just try to keep Napier boys on that right side. Eventually Smiler lifts. Looking for a little give and go. Jackson Ball. Love that look though, Maya.
Yeah, he'd want that back one, that's for sure. Zoram Smiler at the trail by 5. Would have loved to cut it a little bit closer, but again, less help defense given they are in a no catch on Jackson Ball. So those looks are going to be open for as long as they don't allow Jackson Ball to get a catch.
Kayla, if you're Coach Sonny, are you happy with that floater, or are you trying to get something more efficient on that offense?
Look, if I'm coach, I'm probably saying that's a bit too early in the shot clock. Knowing your strengths, playing to your strengths. Rosmini are really good when they're really shooting a shot in that last half of the 24-second shot clock there. Probably a little bit early for me.
Offensive hara called there on Hunter Johns. That'll only be their second personal on Rosmini and his first. Rosmini at the moment shooting 36%, Napier boys 35, pretty even. Here comes Smiler again, a lot of ball handling duties for him, Maya.
I mean, to no surprise, obviously, Jackson Ball getting denied and Zoram Smiler, a very capable ball handler. For Jackson Ball actually to just stay out of the way and see if Zoram can create, not a bad idea. Pretty hard to go against a pretty tough defense. If he can take himself out of the picture and let the others cook, it's actually not a bad strategy for Napier.
Pinned down into what was a pick and pop for Jakowski. Wiley there just lost the handle on the ball. And at last possession here, Napier boys into the hands of Smiler. They're going to try and find Jackson Ball on the weak side. Doesn't get all the way to him, but a good look. And that's no good. Jakowski fires. And made a good effort there to try and get the $100 Foot Locker voucher. So quarter time here in boys semi-final 2. Rosmini College up 18-13. Kayla, go to you first. What did Rosmini do so well in that first quarter?
So well. Well, they had moments where they were just running their sets, going through their offenses. We've seen this in this tournament. They are a very well-drilled team. So just having that patience, not playing too quickly. It can often be a tendency to scramble or to want to get a quick shot up because you might have a 2-on-2 situation in transition. Having that maturity to pull the ball back out, run through their sets, and I think on the defensive end, making sure they bump those cutters. We had 2 or 3 looks in there where there was a back cut. So in that situation, if the ball is being reversed and you're now a help side defender, you must cut off that back cut, because little things, we talk 1%ers, that is one of those little 1%ers that can make a difference.
Maya, on the flip side for Napier boys, down 5, so obviously not a massive deficit early in this one, but is there anything you thought that they could improve to try and wrestle back this lead?
My favourite position in that quarter was when they moved the portal. They had a couple of actions within their offence, and then Jackson Ball came off that DHO on the right-hand side and got to an easy parkete. There was no help defence there whatsoever. That kind of action, as we see the Pieri brothers there, Puki, Koei, the flying mullets. But yeah, when they moved the portal well and had a couple of actions to then create for Jackson Ball, he's a relentless scorer and he can score at all 3 levels. If you put him in positions where he can do so, he'll capitalise on that. And I think for Napier boys to want to come back into this ball game, he is going to have to be a contributing factor into that. Yes, you do have the other pieces of Harry Keeley, Maz Taylor and Zoram Smiler who can create and score, but Jackson Ball has got to have some type of ball in hand for them to have some type of success.
Kayla, I can see you scrolling through the live stats there. Is anything standing out to you?
Yeah, Napier boys are shooting 45% from within the three-point line. Rosmini 25. So, yeah, perhaps that could be a result of maybe a few too many rush shots in transition there for Rosmini. But it's pretty even. Assists, 3 apiece. Rebounds, Rosmini are up 3. So we will keep an eye on that throughout the game. Napier boys are struggling from the three-point line, 1 of 10, and Rosmini are 4 of 9. No surprise with the Riley brothers and the depth that they have. So I'm sure they will be looking to exploit that three-point line as much as possible.
Didn't see the live stats from girls semi-final number 2, but seems as Maz Taylor to the hoop, Maya. A lot of teams have struggled from behind the arc today.
Something about the bright lights and the big stage and these tough rims here on Fly Palmy. Very different rims than the rest of the Central Energy Trust Arena. So you can imagine the adjustment pretty difficult. Then you put a lot of pressure on the situation, even more difficult. But Josh Riley, seemingly no issues for him.
To the stars with that floater off the Papamudi. And again, that tough half-court defense. Smiley keeps the ball in bounds. Just happy to work things around the perimeter between their 2 leading guards. Here's Maz Taylor, puts his head down. Finds Harry Keeley, and 1.
Oh, where? Ka pai matai.
Movement of the portal is Napier's best friend. Let's see that. The messy pass to Maz Taylor and then the dump down there to Harry Keeley. So good to get Zorm Smala and Maz Taylor involved, creating advantages. Jackson Ball very happy to just sit in the corner as Jameer Reid faces him. And the other Napier pieces able to create and get themselves on the board. Only a 2-point game now.
Do you think he's a fan of the song Sweet Caroline, Maya? Because that was so good, so good. Over your head again?
You've been around Greg too long,
You're so
my
corny.
friend.
So corny.
There's Jakowski, Kurufifi Tonu.
Mai te tapa, engari teno tapa.
Still love the action there. Here's Jackson Ball up against Jameer Reid once again. Down the left-hand side. Shifty spins. Finds Keeley again, Maya.
That is a perfect possession there. Jackson Ball very keen to go against Jameer Reid, and he's drawing that double team, meaning that Harry Keeley is wide open. Harry Keeley recognising it, finding that space, and the beneficiary of a dime. That is a perfect possession there for Napier boys.
Offensive foul called there on Jakowski, just moving as he made contact, and this game now has 20/20 vision. We are tied up early in quarter number 2 as we take a look there at the Rosmini bench. And if anyone's wondering why there's a few shaved heads, the initiation for Rosmini boys. On their very first nationals, they have to shave their head.
Is that why you are bald for this as well?
Yeah, mine never grew back. I didn't actually go to Rosmini. Did coach there for a year, but mine was not a choice, Maya.
Not a business decision.
Definitely was a business decision, as the hara is called there on the tūrapa opportunity. And we might have another look at this one.
Thought that was a little bit tough. I think there was a good contest there from both sides. You love to see the boys being physical in the tūrapa battle. As we've seen in the first semi-finals of today, the tūrapa is a massive part of contributing factors toward the winning team. So good to see bodies keen early.
Once again, Manawa Karena in the right place at the right time as we're having a look here on the action replay. And just beautiful ball movement as they just draw and kick to Napier boys, and they take the lead now 22-20.
Look, moving the portal really well and quickly. I think that's the key word there for Napier boys. Moving the portal too quick for Rosmini to be able to adjust and rotate. And then, as we can see, a 2-point lead off the back tapa on that Kuru Totoku for Manawa.
Tūrapa, Maddie Dalton. Here is Wiley going at Taylor, gets blocked. And Taylor comes away with the ball. 2-on-2 opportunity, and they're going to slow things down. Maya, big block on the defensive end.
It's a massive stop in this mini run for them. If they can get Paketes and get stops, I think it's going to put Rosmini in a little bit of a hole and maybe force a Waiheke very shortly.
And Kayla, what can they do to stop that? Because Napier are doing such a good job. They're not actually using the on-ball They're just getting him to slip off the sideline pass and then getting easy high post opportunities.
Look, I'm not sure if it's just a matter of really, really good offense, because their defense seems sound, whether it's potentially a question of a shift to a zone to guard that, because their pick and roll action and their weak side man rolling is getting them some really good looks, making the extra pass as they're just kind of going on this little run here is Napier.
Again, there's a high post catch. Is he going to find Taylor in the corner? Doesn't need him, Maya.
The thing with that is, as we see a wahike here from Rosmini, I'd be thinking about shifting out of that screen coverage or doing a better job of that low man stepping up and taking the roller. As we're going to see, when you set a screen against a hard show, you don't really need to set a screen, right? Your defender is jumping out to the ball. There is so much gap there, and that low man in the weak side, it's their job to tag the roller before the screen defender can come back and take back their man. So for as long as Rosmini are going to keep hard showing, Napier will just keep feasting on such easy buckets, especially Harry Keeley near the tupper. Such a great touch.
You know, look, whether it's a hedge and recover situation for any wing ball screens, whether they need to, you know, do they go underneath, do a little rain check situation? Will they hit that 3-point off the dribble? Yeah, but I don't think that switch coverage is working, so it's got to be some adjustments on the defensive end here for Rosmini. But with that being said, although it's been a momentum shift in the favour of Napier boys, still only 6 points, and we know Rosmini, they don't allow teams to get too much separation in that points differential.
Good to see before the volunteers and some of the referees as well bringing us the live stats, keeping us up to date. Don't forget you can follow along on that on nz.basketball. And a big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Whakata Māori, Caltex, New Zealand Carbon Farming, our presenting sponsor, Foot Locker as well. And shout out to everyone at home. We're now at 900 viewers.
Ooh, I'm getting nervous now.
On this YouTube stream. It's getting busy.
Kia ora kia koutou.
Workday's finished. Everyone's knocked off for a Friday. Jakowski up top. Little throw into a screen. Trying to find that high post that's been so effective for Napier as well. Dalton on ball. Wiley trying to get the defender in here. Here's Reed, 7 on the shot clock, and that is a travel. Kayla, tough first possession there out of the timeout.
Yeah, that is a tough one there. It happens, you know, those travel calls, as you can just see there on the replay. Gets the catch. You know, tough. I think it was just a pivot foot situation, but they will look to get it back on the defensive end.
Here's Smiler for Napier boys up against Wiley. Again, Keeley just draws the Hara. Maya, he is doing such a good job moving about the ball for his teammates.
And it's making his job is pretty easy at the moment, to be fair, for Rosmini with that coverage. And as you can see, just another time where he slips out of that ball screen, gets the catch, and a very good tupper around the rim and a really good awareness to go into the kaipari, into the defense and draw the Hara. Interestingly as well there, Jameer Reed happy to actually help off Jackson Ball and edge a little bit closer to Harry Keeley there. Could we see a couple of corner kickouts on the way? That could be very dangerous for Napier to extend their offense a little bit more.
Well, Jackson Ball is 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, so although it hasn't been a high volume, we know that he's going to be happy enough to shoot it if that continues. Here's Josh Wiley up top, finds his brother, Kurufifi Toru, it's good, Kayla.
Karawe, and we've seen the Wiley brothers light it up from downtown. That's something that Napier boys will have to be very aware of in their scout, making sure that those Wiley brothers don't get any open threes.
Taylor in the corner, Kurufifi Toru, Maya.
He responds.
You can see just the moving pieces in this Napier squad. We've seen Harry Keeley get going, now the flare screen, and shout to Manawa Karina for setting that monster flare screen for Maz Taylor, who can shoot the ball. And if they can all get going, that is so hard to guard. That requires 5 of your defenders to be on top of their game and taking away a scout, taking away strengths. And that's why this Napier team is so strong with so much depth.
Well, I thought the game was a little bit closer than it felt. It's now 29-23. If we didn't have a scoreboard, it feels like all the momentum is with Napier at the moment. Kayla, offensively, what can Rosmini do to try and get themselves back in this game?
Run their sets. You know, we've seen they're very well drilled, so getting through their offenses, not shooting the ball in the first half, and also getting 2 feet in the paint if they can get a drive and kick out to their 3-point shooters.
Reed slips over, but they can't find Jackson Ball there on the outlet. Smiler once again, it goes inside. There's the double from Rosmini. Great ball movement, Jackson Ball, Kurufifi Toru off the tupper. And a two-upper, Charlie Dalton. Sorry, Maddie Dalton. Charlie's not even in the country.
I think I can see in the future, just saying, with that kick out to Jackson Ball there, as Jameer Reid very much happy to start helping off now. I guess Jackson Ball lost his effectiveness in the fact that he just stood in the corner. But if they're going to continue to find him on those kickouts, things could get a little bit dangerous as we see that replay for Jameer Reid getting downhill. Just like you said, Kayla, more intention for him to go downhill, get feet in the paint, because he's pretty deadly, a really good athlete.
Absolutely, and I think it's one of those things of playing to your strengths. You know, for him, he's so effective. When he's got 2 feet in that key, he can use his pump fakes, he can step through, and if he misses a shot, he can get his rebound. So getting him in those positions, Tchaikovsky, we've seen him in early in pool play, him doing a really good job on his seals, on his boxing out, on his rebounds. You know, the likes of Dalton being an active 4-man and the Wiley brothers shooting their shots. So it's a matter of playing to your strengths and knowing what you do well.
Second foul on Harry Keeley. He sits down. Maya, how does that change the Napier offense? As Wiley will go to the line.
I think it just means different looks now for the likes of Maz Taylor and Zoram Smiler. If you can continue to get that flare screen action for Maz, you'll take it. And slips obviously being a big theme of Napier boys' offense. If you can get that flare screen and that slip from Manawa Karina, you might catch Rosmini off guard. But not a massive loss. There's so many moving pieces in this Napier squad as we see a dope buddy and then a hara.
And that's tough because Rosmini is in the bonus. Tchaikovsky gets blocked and then commits the hara. As we see subs in, Johns will be back in for Tchaikovsky. Just a little bit tough there mentally, Kayla.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. It can be really easy. You've missed a shot or you get a turnover, whatever it may be, and then you go and foul. So in that instance, it's not the missed shot or the turnover or whatever it may be. It's actually the response to it. In that situation, you've just got to get back and play honest defense on the other end of the floor.
In terms of free throws, both teams not lighting it up. Rosmini 0 for 6, I believe. And Napier boys now 1 for 7. As Wiley again to the hoop.
Oh, Karawi.
Love the aggressiveness, Kayla.
Yep. Way to be aggressive. They need to keep doing that, you know. Rosmini are in foul trouble, but they can get Napier boys into foul trouble as well. And it's just being aggressive. If they're not hitting those shots from outside or can't quite get their looks, going inside, shooting a good shot and getting to the free throw line.
Maz Taylor now on 2 fouls as well. How does that change the Napier outlook?
You know, that's pretty tough as well with Harry Keeley sitting on the bench too. Obviously, there's a couple of scorers that are going to take the attention away from Jackson Ball, and Jameer Reid clearly happy to stick with him. But again, just so many moving pieces in this Napier offense, and of course, they have a lot of variation in their sets and the actions that they run, but I think they'll still have some scoring success, especially with Jackson Ball portal in hand.
Up against Jameer Reid, goes baseline to the corner. Good defense here from Rosmini, happy to sit in as Smiler throws it up off the Papa Moody.
Look, no Taz, no Maz, no issue. Zoram Smiler is still a bucket there himself.
Wiley off the Dalton on ball. Johns to the hoop. And again, we're seeing with Napier, Maya, they're pretty happy to leave their feet on drivers.
Yeah, I mean, they want to contest second, right? You want to leave the ground second and vertically challenge those paquetes at the tapa, and that's the best kind of physicality, I believe, as we see some more physicality there from Josh Wiley. But yeah, the best way to contest the shot is leaving the ground after the offense goes up, and then try and get a tapa after that.
Josh Wiley's first, Johns has 2, Matty Dalton has 2. Tchaikovsky re-enters the game. And it just feels at the moment like this game's on a bit of a knife edge, Kayla.
Does. Both teams not on a massive scoring run at the moment, as we have another Kuruto Tuku here.
Converts the second. And Maya, big decision here. Taylor and Harry Keeley are back into the game.
a clear display of trust from Coach Aidan Daly there, knowing that his players are probably smart enough to be in the ball game without giving away their last hudder, and I think Maz and Harry definitely display that intelligence to be able to be disciplined enough, as we see Maz Taylor right there, disciplined enough to take himself out of that play and not get his third hudder.
Tahua te reikuru a Wiley mai te Papamuri.
Taylor jump pass to a ball. Kuruwhiwhi Toru on the way. And rebound Jakowski. 5-point game now, just over 3 minutes to play. Reed rejects the on ball, draws the hudder.
You know, in those situations, when Rosmini are going downhill on those screens, they're often drawing 3 defenders. So I think it's a matter of making that extra pass. But if you're someone like Jameer Reed, that's also a good shot. You can often finish with 3 defenders around you as well.
Not deemed to be in the act of shooting, so it'll be a baseline inbound for Rosmini. And you got to feel Sonny Tuaputa has got a pretty long list of baseline out of bounds plays that he can run. Let's see what they've got here. Wiley up top off the on ball from Dalton, steps back, finds Johns, Kuruwhiwhi Toru off iron and rebound into Jackson Ball.
Encouraging sign there for Napier boys, getting that stop. Yet another one, keeping Rosmini to 28 in 2 quarters. An impressive feat.
And travel call, 2 big gentlemen going against each other. Isaac Allen, though, couldn't quite control his feet, Maya.
Coach Aidan Daly just asking the question, what are we doing? You can just see him there, very animated, and probably a good question that seemed very much out of system for Napier boys. A tough shot over multiple defenders, not very much within the identity of what Napier boys like to run offensively.
Kayla, talking about what we're not like to run, there's a very quick there from Jakowski.
Yeah, very quick look there in transition. Perhaps needing to get it through the hands of his teammates first.
Maz short. Fight for the two-upper, and away comes Josh Wiley for Rosmini. And happy just to drive around before finding Jameer Reed. Harry Kiley again. Maya.
Such a great presence inside. Obviously very long limbs, but also times his toe buddies so correctly as he throws that dime to Jackson Ball. And good to see Jackson Ball getting involved. Will also get a game delay warning. Doesn't even look back. But to get that momentum in terms of scoring for Jackson Ball, a good sign. He's done a good job at being patient and being a facilitator. But to get him on the board as well, a good sign for Napier boys.
Here is Johns for Rosmini, down 7 under 2 minutes to play, quarter 2. Winner takes on Christ tomorrow. Dalton in the high post, looking for Johns. And the hudder is called, and that is either going to be Maz or Harry's third hudder. And it will be Harry, as we have a look here. Good find inside, just jumped early. And caught the arm there of Hunter Johns.
Look, I like that shot there. It's a good high to low find. Good seal from Johns inside. Being patient with his shot fake as he nails that first kuruto tuku. But, yep, that extra pass, that was a good look.
Why, obviously sitting the player on 3. Do you bring him back at halftime, or does he sit into the third quarter?
I think it depends on how Napier boys can finish out this 1.5 minutes. If they do finish strong, get a couple of stops and possibly even a couple of buckets, they don't necessarily need to bring him in and take that risk. If there is a chance in which they do feel like they need the offensive and defensive presence of Harry Keeley, you can take the risk. But at this point in time, I don't think it's totally necessary. I think he can take a seat for a few more minutes.
Jakowski to the hoop. And again, Johns there with the offensive two-upper. Here is Christopher Wiley, half spin. Just getting caught a little bit in their spacing there. Rosmini, Johns to the hoop off the Papamuri. What a strong finish.
Beautiful finish there from that baseline rip. Johns with a nice finish, using his body as he plays defense on the other end. Trying to get a steal with just under 50 seconds left in this second quarter.
And another steal. Here's Dalton. And deemed to have body contact there, Jackson Ball. That will be his second as well. Into the line will go Matty Dalton.
Heads up play there from Matty Dalton. Let's take another look at that as he spins and just hunts from behind. Clean strip out of Jackson Bull's hand. It almost looked like a clean strip as well, to be fair. But again, a heads up play there from Matty Dalton. Need more of that from Rosmini. That's a very effective way to stop Jackson Bull.
Yeah, he is extremely a Dalton, that kid. That is the play that the whole family will make.
Absolutely.
Back to a one-possession game now.
But yeah, just to highlight that strip that Dalton got, someone like Bull, it is a gamble to often, you know, turn from your own defender and help on someone else. But someone like Bull, that is a good decision there from Dalton, choosing to get a hand in as he got the steal.
2-point game, and Jameer Reid comes back into the game for Matty Dalton. Done a great job off the bench thus far for Rosmini. Potentially last possession for Napier boys here in the first half of the semi-final. Little pin down screen there for Jackson Bull. It's tipped off Rosmini. 10 seconds on the shot clock as he crosses halfway. Maz Taylor, Kurufifi Toru.
Oh, yeah. Nothing but net.
And that is huge. Jackson Bull facing that double team. Throw it to Zoram. Zoram drive, kick out to Maz Taylor. That's a perfect offensive possession.
Throw and go, little X-cut. Wiley Kurufifi Toru. And Smiler is going to have time to get one up here. Crosses over, throws it up.
Ooh.
Off the Papamudi, and that's going to do it for the first half here. Napier boys up over Rosmini College, 38-33. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the second half.
Nice work, team.
Good work.
Good flow.
I like the flow.
Yeah, mama te whakarongo. Mama ki te taringa.
Te whakapiki wairua te mea nui kia hau nei.
Nui ake ngā hua mō tua. That stuff. Tā, kia koe bro. Te reo Māori anake te reo I whai pūtea ai au. Aku mahi katoa. Taua.
Bringing the fire every week.
The whole system is man. That's what it is.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this privately owned swimming centre that was still in the planning stages. The owner spent 8 years trying to make the project viable, but the design was continually over budget, a design he was paying for. So he called Apollo to help because he trusted us to deliver. We got to know the critical success factors of the business. The current building plans had lost sight of what was needed. We took a fresh approach, starting with the most important aspect of the facility, the water bodies. Then balanced the critical success factors of function, form, and cost to bring the designs in on budget. Finally, we could deliver the owner the new facility he needed. At Apollo, we understand your key success factors, put function over form if required, deliver what is needed at the highest quality, have lower operating costs, and always have very happy clients. Like this one, who was pretty stoked. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
And go! Just fill up at a participating Caltex, stack your pump discounts, and you could collect more savings on your next visit. Oh, there's another one. Getting quite good at this. Filling and saving. Feels good.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Atahua.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena in boys semi-final number 2. Napier boys up 38-33 over Rosmini College. And a quick glance at the live stats before I bring my amazing analysts in. Rosmini only shooting 31%. But down only 5, whereas Napier boys are shooting 44%. And from the free throw line, both teams are struggling a little bit. Rosmini 4 of 10 and Napier boys 3 of 9. I'm going to throw to you first, Maya Williamson. Napier boys in the ascendancy. What have you liked and what would you like to see improved on their side?
Their offense has looked really good, despite the fact that Jackson Ball is in that no-catch kind of situation. Harry Keeley, some nice catches out of that high post situation, creating for himself and his teammates. Maz Taylor obviously catching fire from beyond the arc as well. Got 2 Kuruwhiwhi Torus now. Jackson Ball still with 11 points and 3 assists, 3 rebounds, so managing to be effective despite the fact that he is getting full denied. They are going to have to be careful now coming into the second half. Rosmini very good at making adjustments. Coach Sonny, a very smart coach. So for them, it's maintaining that offense, seeing how they can get Jackson Ball involved, surviving without Harry Keeley for the next couple of minutes, and making sure they get stops, because I know that Rosmini are going to try to go to the Wiley brothers, and they're going to try to go to Jameer Reid. So staying out of foul trouble, being disciplined, and trying to take away the avenues in which Rosmini want to score.
To my left, Kayla Manu Irarangi. Rosmini College need a second half comeback here. What do you think Coach Sonny's going to draw up?
You know, as we talked about earlier, and in the half, this Rosmini team, they haven't scored a whole lot this second quarter, but they also haven't let the lead push too far ahead. So once they get into their stride offensively, they're a very dangerous team. So no doubt for them, once again, well-drilled team. They have a good system under coach, and also a good amount of freedom to play to their strengths. So it's a matter of working the actions they have, getting the right looks for the right people in the right spots on the floor.
Crowd starting to fill up here in Fly Palmy Arena. So it's me, Rosmini in the white to inbound. And here is Christopher Wiley. Still man-to-man defense here from Napier boys. Both teams happy to run with that thus far. Little punch screen for Wiley, finds some space.
Gorgeous little snake dribble there from Wiley.
And Smiley comes up with it. Here's Jackson Ball on his favourite right-hand side. Kicks it to the corner. Happy to go side to side here, Napier boys. There's the on-ball screen for Smiley. Kicks to the corner. Kuruwhiwhi Toru. Perfect start, Maya.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac Allen is a great piece to balance the talent. And we could just see, again, that flare screen on the opposite side found by Jackson Ball. That is exactly what you like to see for Napier boys, especially somebody like Isaac Allen, who isn't the bigger names of Zoram, Maz or Jackson, still getting his job done and playing his role.
Got to say at Rosmini Ball, just a little argy-bargy there on the court. And so here's Rosmini.
Keep that corner.
Kuruwhiwhi Toru and no good. Turapa Smiler. And away come Napier boys now, 8-point lead, trying to make this double digits, and we're going to see another foul there on a Jackson Ball. This time Jameer Reid goes tumbling.
Really smart play there. You can, as you see the IQ of the players, someone like Jameer Reid, in that play, he could see Ball was giving him a little bit of a push, and then second push, he fouled. That is a smart play from Reid there.
And do you reckon, Maya, Jackson just yelled, "Ball don't lie"?
I'm going to be feeling like he's going to feel like he just got sold a little bit. Let's see if Rosmini can't convert on this possession. That'll be a true ball don't lie possession.
Pinned down for Reid to the hoop.
Ball don't lie.
Good look from Reid. That will fall, but yep, that's a great look.
Smiler on the left-hand side. Little pin down again there for Jackson Ball into an on-ball. Switch here from Rosmini. Spins on Reid.
Oh.
Maz Taylor was right there.
Delightful time that was.
And a flop warning has been called as well on the court. We might get a chance to have a look at the replay and see what happened as Reid to the hoop, draws the hutter. And we'll go to the line, and that is already the third hutter, Maya, on Napier boys.
And yeah, that's been kind of the tail of the tape for them. Those hutter, Tina's Jackson Ball, obviously on 3 now, I believe. Harry Keeley on 3. It's a very dangerous situation, flirting with those 4 fouls early in the third quarter, and obviously Coach Aidan Daly trusting to leave them on but that could end up being dangerous, especially with Jameer Reid continuously now going downhill, trying to get at the tupper.
Got to start making these though, Rosmini. You can live and die a little bit on 3-throw line, can't you, Caleb?
Absolutely. As Reid goes for that second kurito tuku. Pai te mea tuarua, pai te mahi a Reid.
But a full court pressure here from Rosmini, seeing if they can get some easy points off the steal. Smiler though, too experienced in this position to let that happen. And once again, for the 47th time this tournament, I have cursed someone.
Hey, kei te kahawa wā o te mahi a Tchaikovsky there. Sometimes it's so easy to be like, oh, we'll just let them bring the ball up the court. But he didn't do that. He played full court man pressure and he turned them into a really uncomfortable turnover situation.
Huddle number 4 now on Napier, boys. Just trying to be a bit too aggressive, trying to run around those screens to players. We're having a look here on the action replay. A little give and go into, just wrapped around Hunter Johns and took his leg out.
4 fouls within just under 2 minutes. It's
impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive. It's a great feat. Really not what you want. Harry Keeley back on the floor as well, speaking of fouls.
Great look there.
Here comes Smiler at Johns and is stripped from Wiley. That is Joshua. Thinks about going at Maz Taylor. Tchaikovsky gets stripped. Which way is it going to go? It's going to stay after a little bit of a tease there from the referee with Rosmini.
Bit of a got him moment from Elijah Mariko. And I don't know what you guys saw, but let's take another look at that because, again, looking like it came off Rosmini to me, although maybe a strip.
Inconclusive. That's why the referees, though, they don't get the luxury we have of a replay.
Indeed.
Johns finds Wiley off the on-ball. Little slip there, pulls up.
Mama noiho te kuru peke. Beautiful jump shot there from Wiley, reading the defense, seeing the gap. Just a quick pick and pop, that's really hard to defend.
Smiler again can't get into an on-ball situation. Instead, Maz Taylor rejects the screen, goes baseline. But lovely offense there, Maya.
Tough bunny as Jackson Ball will get the portal back. Can he convert on that possession? And that is his 4th harder.
That is massive there. Great job from Reid. Pulling in that rebound. We talk about the importance of rebound and free throws down the track. And just
I honestly thought as he was bearing down on Jameer Reid, he was going to try and jump over him.
He gathered himself, didn't he? As you can just see, going strong and then a little gather. But good job from Reid holding his position. He just jumped up and he pulled that foul in. No reira ka haere ia ki te pai kurito tuku.
Look, great intention there for Jackson Ball to contest that offensive two-up, but you can sense the frustration, right? A little bit of a run from Rosmini, 2 missed bunnies, you could call them, for Napier. That frustration is clear, but now he's definitely going to have to sit till, I'd say, the 4th quarter.
Reid in and out. And away come Napier, still up 4 here.
Real opportunity here for Rosmini. While Ball is sitting on the bench to make the most of it, as we see them drop into a 3-2 zone now. They don't need to do high alert defense on Ball.
Harry Keeley there can't hit anything, and away come Rosmini with a little pep in their step now. Trying to find Reid in the post, up against Maz Taylor, swings through. And such a tough look there for Jameer Reid. And Napier boys probably quite happy that eventually a whistle goes against the young lads from the North Shore.
Yeah, the first huddle actually of the quarter for Rosmini, and that is great wall up there, both from Maz Taylor and Harry Keeley. As we see, that's only Jameer's second, getting him in that dead zone below the Papamuri and forcing him into a very tough position. And then again, that frustration foul, and probably a little bit unfortunate for Jameer Reid.
Maz Taylor up top against Johns. Good switch there on the on-ball from Rosmini to the hoop. And away comes. Is he going to get stripped? He is.
Te tere haere.
Kayla, when you played, was there a call if there was a player running up on you from behind?
Absolutely. The bench is screaming, your teammates are screaming. But sometimes when you're just in the live action of a game, you're not always aware of who's running behind you.
Once again, a big rebound from Karina. Here is Smiler, crosses over Dalton inside to Harry. And a big bucket for Napier.
Harry Keeley is such a beast, and a great find from Zoran Smiler. Just the length that Harry Keeley has, kind of advantageous of most players on the court for Rosmini. The recognition, just to throw it up high for him to get the catch. That's a much needed bucket there for Napier boys, and this mini run from Rosmini.
And look, I like that that move there from Wiley. He was bringing it up in transition, pushing the pace. He did see the defender turn their head, and he saw a gap. You know, there was a bit of a shift in the Napier boys' side, so he saw an opportunity to maybe just get a couple free throws under your belt, settle the team back down, and get back into their sets.
Of all the hudders called in this game, it's got a bit of a battle feel to it.
He pakanga tēnei.
Wiley with his second to make this a 4-point game. Does so.
Pai te mea tuarua.
Full court man-to-man again here from Rosmini. And good early on ball from Napier. Now here's Taylor out and running to Smiler. A little bit of confusion there on who is going to set the on ball. Again, working the ball lovely from side to side. Taylor off to Harry Keeley on ball.
Oh.
And funnily enough, Christopher Wiley, obviously been working hard. The sweat on his back just slides all the way out of bounds.
And there you go. I was just going to say there's nothing better for a coach than to see a player diving on the floor.
Amen. With that, not a 14 reset, 2 hands on the ball. Not sure how that works.
Yeah, that should be a reset. Good call, Meyer.
Coach Aidan Daly, no protest on that though, so nonetheless, we digress, I suppose.
Yeah, if you look at the rule book, it is when the ball comes to rest. And the ball definitely came to rest there for Christopher Wiley, but at the end of the day, might have been a jump ball situation anyway.
Or is it 2 hands on the ball in the floor?
No, it's just, it does, so long as the ball comes to rest, it can be in one hand as well.
But he went out.
But he was in bounds when he grabbed the ball.
Right, okay. So it should have been a reset.
It should have.
Border and line right there.
Tētahi hikoi, tērā karanga a te kaiwawao. Travel call there from the ref, as it will be Napier boys' possession. E rima ngā meneti e whai aka ki te mutunga o tēnei hau wha tuatoru.
Rebounds very early, but very even between both teams. Napier boys 34-31. Assist is the interesting one. Napier with 14, Rosmini only 4.
Napier played just such a nice team style of basketball as seen right there. Matt Taylor, Fifi Toru, his third of the game, I believe, and that is why that assist count is so high, Andrew.
Here is Wiley stepping through, and that could be Harry's 4th. And it is.
And that's tough for Harry Keeley. Thought he might have got all ball, definitely a chance at getting hand there. And if you're Harry Keeley, you know you're on 3. It's just not worth the risk.
It was more the body, wasn't it? Rather than what he was actually doing with his hands.
Definitely.
I mean, anything that is from behind will most likely be called a foul. Even if it's a clean strip, 9 times out of 10, that will probably be called a foul.
I mean, we saw it at the back end of quarter number 2 as well with the Jackson Ball strip. That was called a foul on Maddie Dalton. Converts the second 6-point game.
Pai te mea tuarua.
Reed back into the game. Happy just to pull back a little bit more here, Rosmini. Alternating when they're gonna try and push full court. And he just drop back into a half-court defense. Still in the man-to-man is Joblin. With a very heavily strapped shoulder. Taylor into the teeth of the defense, pulls up.
Oh, we a tahua rawa atu te kurupeke.
He's got such a nice touch and such a quick release, just creating some separation off the dribble. Nice for them to still have that offensive presence despite no Keeley and no ball.
Here's it Wiley off to John. Short rolls it. Lovely done. Creates that space for Maddie. Dalton to the hoop. Didn't touch the rim. And shot clock violation.
Massive stop there for Napier boys. Momentum once again in their favour. And a Pakete here could put it out to 10. And in that situation, you'd think a timeout would come for Coach Sonny.
Looks like Hale Joblin is keeping an entire store in business with how heavily that left shoulder is strapped as he now has the ball. Finds Karina into Taylor again. 8 on the shot clock. Little hezzy slips. Kurufufi Toru goes up and short. Maya just lost a bit of momentum there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that slip from Maz Taylor kind of ended the possession. Obviously, Isaac Allen had to force that. Kurufufi Toru up there, heavily contested, but Maz Taylor, the unexpected taupare.
I just wondered, do we need to stop the game a little bit? Because I'm sure it's quite slippery in the middle of the court. Joblin thought about it. Here is Smiler on the on ball. That is right where Maz went down. And the shot no good. Away come Rosmini Jakowski. And it's stripped once again into the hands of Smiler.
Yeah, a bit of a risky pass there in transition. Mai te kona, mo te Kurufufi Toru, Ahuaroa.
And a hara is called. And intriguingly, is against Napier boys. Wouldn't mind another look at that here on the action replay. As Sonny Tuapura looks a little bit bemused by what's going on.
The offensive tūrapa efforts from Manawa Karina, though, can be highly commended. Crashing the glass almost every possession. We won't have another look at that, unfortunately. A little bit unfortunate for Napier.
Love to see them regroup in the middle of the court, though. Free throws are an opportunity. If you're, run into some difficulty during a game, you don't have a coach timeout. As players, regrouping in the middle of the court, talking about the game plan moving forward.
Shout out as well, saw Indy Marshall there on the bench. Shout out to his brother Jet, who I used to coach, and then his dad Noah, if they are listening. Wonderful family. Maz again, everything seems to be going through him as he's stripped by Matty Dalton. Out to the races, a little fend, and blocked. And away again come Napier boys.
Massive taupare there. Kei Tikimi Rautaki.
Oh, lovely little passing cut, but again it's that wingspan of Dalton that stays with Napier boys to the corner. Joblin finds Smiler. It's good. Hard show. Kurufufi Toru on the way. And shot clock violation. Maya, was there anything you saw that they could have attacked there?
I mean, that intention there from Maz Taylor, really good, and I like the downhill penetration there from Zorma Smiler. Just very messy, and you're bound to have those possessions. Can't all be perfect, and Isaac Allen is a good shooter from beyond the arc. Obviously just a little bit off there, but I think just a messy possession there for Napier boys.
Timeout taken from Napier. Always a welcome reprieve, isn't it, when you're down, Caleb, for the opposition coach to take a timeout. What do you think Sonny's talking about here?
Yeah, well, Napier boys in team foul trouble. So for Rosmini, 2 minutes left here in the third. Do everything you can to take advantage of whenever a team is in 5 team fouls. Get to the line as much as possible. If you've got the 3, shoot it. But if you can get to the line, get to the line. And as you can see, we've got Ball and Kaylee both on the bench, 4 fouls. That's really dangerous for Napier boys. But I've also been very impressed with how the other players of the Napier team are stepping up, speaking to the depth in which they play at.
Good to see Swanee there trying to steal a shoe. He doesn't need to steal shoes.
The bro's just taking a little nap, as you can see, on that extra court.
Been a long day.
It's been a long day for the bro.
Big days here at Secondary School Nationals, as we'd known.
Day 5, guys. Day 5 of the 6-day tournament. And it is kind of sad. It's been an awesome tournament.
Try not to think about that, Maya. The Birkenstocks have been taken.
Is he okay? Oh, there he is.
He's good. There is signs of life.
Fuel.
Back live Jimmy Reed happy just to walk this up. And it looks like a zone here, Maya, from Napier, first one of the game.
And not a bad little change up there, obviously trying to take away the outside presence of Rosmini and maybe just keep some fouls at bay. I wonder if it's just a switch up coming out of the timeout or a permanent change.
Well, with Jackson Ball back on the court, as the Hudder is called, that's only the second on Rosmini. A little bit of a teapot there from Sunny Tuaputa, but you can't be too unhappy if you've only committed 2 at this stage of the game.
All right, ko haminitia, Wiley.
What can Napier draw up? They find Jackson Ball up over Reed. Perfect, Maya.
Great to get him involved as soon as he steps back out on the floor. Nice little seal and a tough finish. Jameer Reed knowing he can't foul, just walled up. That's perfect if you're Napier.
Ball now has 13 points, leading scorer with Harry Keeley for Napier boys as they come back into the ascendancy. I have to score at 50 and eventually goes up. Shout out to the Basketball Manawatu volunteers. Kurufifi Toru, that is a bit of a dagger to end the third quarter.
That is a dagger if I've ever seen one. Isaac Allen playing his role perfectly, knocking down the open Kurufifi Toru. That is what you want from your role player.
Jakowski tries to respond, and Karina there with the two-rapa. Kayla, what can they do to try and get through this zone defense?
Well, the Napier boys are running a 3-2 zone, so the weakness in a zone in that instance is the short corner or the corner 3-point. So getting to those areas of the floor. Te tahi hara anō.
And a few people in the crowd happy with that call. We haven't quite got as loud as we did last night, but I feel like we might not be too far away as we have a look at the crowd still filling up. Jackson Ball, Kurufifi Toru well short, and this will be the final possession of the quarter for Rosmini. Wiley little hook shot, and Karina again now has 9 rebounds in this game. Double team on Ball. Napier really want him to take the last shot, but Smiler crosses over, spins, kicks it out. Ball on the floor, and travel called with 1.2 seconds to go in quarter 3.
Te tahi hikoi.
A little bit disappointing there for Napier. Obviously, they probably would have liked that Barkete heading into this quarter break, but they'll definitely take the 11-point lead.
As Wiley slams that one off the Papamudi. 3-quarter time here. Napier boys up 53-42 over Rosmini College. Maya, I'm going to throw it straight back to you. What did Napier boys do so well to build out that lead?
The way they get everybody involved in their offense means that they are very much stretching this Rosmini defense, forcing all 5 defenders to fly everywhere on the floor, and then they're just finding their advantages out of that. Of course, Jackson Ball with the injection back into the game, drawing attention and then finding advantages off of that for his teammates. The way they move the portal so well, so unselfish, and moving it very quickly, again, applying that pressure on the Rosmini defense there. One key work on now, I believe, is just those foul trouble. I wonder if they're going to stay in that zone. Probably quite effective in those last few positions against Rosmini, but if they can stay out of foul trouble, they could be on for a grand final.
And shout out to Mike Robinson and the Rangitoto girls who are listening back at the motel, just fueling up before their final game tomorrow. Kayla, you've been scrolling through the stats as Maya was dissecting the game. What stood out to you?
So 2 big stats that I'd like to point out. The assist comparison, Napier boys 17 assists, whereas Rosmini only have 4. And furthermore, on top of that, Napier boys have 7 blocks and Rosmini have 1. So I think that speaks to the need for Rosmini to move the ball through different hands. 13 additional assists for one team is exponential. So Napier boys are making the extra pass, getting the open look, and they're shooting a much higher percentage inside the 2-point line. They're shooting 16, 27, 59%, whereas Rosmini are only shooting 26. They've had a similar number of shots taken, but it's the extra pass that Napier boys are making that's really making the difference here.
It's quite incredible, isn't it, when you look at an 11-point game, for the field goal percentages to be that different. So quarter time winding down. 10 more minutes to decide who takes on Christ College tomorrow afternoon. Will it be Napier boys? Will it be Rosmini College looking for their 4th title in the last 14 years? All will be decided as here's Smiler. Everyone back into the game for Napier. Jackson Ball up against Reed. Deep Kurufifi Toru.
Kataka te tefa tefa, the dagger of ball. He shot that all the way from Taranaki team. He wasn't in the Manawatu region on that one.
Just taking my breath away, Jackson Ball. The breaker cut from Maz Taylor deserves a shout out. The DHO, then the deep Kuru Fifi Toru. No answer from Rosmini. That is the greatness of Jackson Ball. If he gets hot, he could call game.
Maz Taylor in the corner. And again, another offensive two-upper. And we might see Napier just try to slow this one down, go into the post. Double there from Rosmini. And the Hara is called. Who's that going to be on? It will be Matty Dalton. That is his 3rd in the 4th quarter. That doesn't matter too much, does it, Kayla?
Look, it kind of does. It kind of does. It's one to be aware of. I think in that instance, they need to be boxing Kaylee out there. He's such a good rebounder. If they can get an over the back call, he's out of the game. But making sure that they box out early every time the ball goes up.
Smile off to Papa Moody, ends up in the hands of Dalton. Here's Jakowski. Finds Reed up against Jackson Ball. There's that 45 cut we all love. Beautiful finish from Wiley.
That's what you want to see. Rosmini making that extra pass. It's simple basketball. A short corner pass in to the middle cutter.
Smiler to the hoop. And that's what they can't have, Rosmini. They can't have back-to-back answers from Napier. But Maya, you've got to be pretty happy if you're on the Napier side.
Yeah, Zorn Smiler showing his impressiveness as we see a travel called there. A dream start for the boys here in blue. Zoram Smiler, like I was saying, super good at penetrating downhill, playing off 2 feet. A nice little touch, and it's going to be pretty hard to stop getting Maz, Zoram, and Jackson going.
14 points in 8 minutes is a tough ask, given the physicality and toughness of this game. Here's Jackson Ball up against Reed. Kurufifi Toru started walking back and likes it. Which way is this going to go?
Great box out just there. As we mentioned, what they need to do is box him out. He will get an over the back call, and that is exactly what's happened. Unfortunately, he will be sitting on the bench for the rest of the game. Such a blow for Napier. But that was a fantastic box out there.
Well, we've got Mystic Maya. We might have telekinesis Kayla.
And I was trying to think of one for Andrew, but I can't.
Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew.
There's Jameer Reed into the paint. There's now no real height advantage for Napier. It's all even Stevens as another Hara is called. Which way is this going to go? That's going to be on Isaac Allen.
Really impressed. Johns has just drawn 2 fouls at a time. You know, Napier can't really afford many more fouls. Already players in foul trouble. He's doing a fantastic job at playing to the game that is happening right in front of him.
3 on Isaac Allen. Here's Jakowski.
Fantastic ball fake.
And that'll be 2 shots. It's exactly what they need. Rosmini, although they've got to start converting. 55% thus far from the 3 throw lines. Take another look at it. Lovely little just cut there. Good find from Jameer Reed.
You've got to leave the ground a second. Sorry to cut you off there,
If I could just shine through you there, Maya. Shout out to Caltex. That's who I was going to shout out just then. You were going to say something that was actually insightful.
I mean, massive shout out to all of our sponsors, Caltex, Bailey's, NZCT, Apollo Project, New Zealand Carbon Farming, and of course Foot Locker. But on that note, if you are Napier, you can't afford to leave the ground first defensively. Don't allow the shot fakes to get you out of your feet. That's when you get in foul trouble. And we all know the one thing Napier need to avoid from this point onward is foul trouble.
Shout out to the 808's new favourite Kiwi, Tom Beattie, tuning in from Hawaii. He's claiming there's going to be a Rosmini comeback incoming. Ball off the on ball, goes against Wiley, just dancing a little bit to ball, gets it back. And another offensive tūrapa. Maz, happy to slow things down. Maya, they are being so calm under pressure.
That's what makes a championship-esque team, is their demeanour and calmness under pressure, like you said. And there they are, creating something out of nothing. Maz Taylor using that speed advantage, getting downhill, and he'll send himself to the Paikuru Tautaku. Let's take another look at that as he just uses his change of pace there. Probably not a actually huge foot speed advantage on Wiley, but smart about how he creates that contact.
Converts the first 13-point game now. I always used to think in a prior life that when you got to these points, 2 points a minute was kind of the lead. It became a little bit difficult to come back. Anything over that, especially above 4-5 minutes to play when it's in double figures, you need to keep it under that as you try to chase it down. We're now bang on target, 14.7 minutes.
Okay, Te Kamido Taki.
Johns finds Tchaikovsky, and a very welcome basket for Rosmini.
Really good, you know, breaking that zone. Once you get it into the inside of the key, it opens up the offense.
Little handoff there from Ball and Karina. So patient here. Napier boys just going from it side to side. Finally go inside now for a paint touch. Smiler.
Toru he kona.
Wow.
Mai te papa muri, tino waua te rakuru.
Zoran Park get that Smiler again. Napier creating something out of nothing, seemingly no advantage. Then their guards just going downhill, getting to the tough part. Things are looking pretty damn good for Napier.
Zoran Smiler now with 8 points, 12 rebounds and 7 assists. Doing a little bit of everything, as there is another Wiley tūrapa, and out there comes in transition, Reid to the hoop.
Oh, where te kurutopa a Reid Karawe. 12 points, team.
Under 6 minutes now, it's above that 2 points a minute threshold. Into the corner. Again, just so much patience, working things side to side. Almost a bit of a flex action going on here, Maya.
Sorry, just gone speechless a little bit by the offense, and yeah, it's a great job getting that, obviously that down screen and upwards for Zoran Smiler to then catch Rip going downhill on that penetration and off the Papa Muri there for Rosmini. Napier could take a 16-point lead with a successful possession here.
Go inside, Kayla. Is Sonny thinking about a timeout right now?
If Napier score next, yes. If Rosmini score, I think he'll look to keep getting them into something, as they just need to score some baskets here.
He hasn't used one. If he gets to the last 2 minutes, he loses one. Again, Hunt and Jobler draws the Hara on Johns. That'll be his third.
All right, Kwahaminetea Johns.
As you take another look here on the action replay.
Uncle Drew, could we get a offensive tūrapa count for Napier boys by any chance?
We certainly can, Maya. Ask and you shall receive. They have, believe it or not, only 6. And there is that timeout that we've seen from Rosmini. Kayla, what is going to be discussed?
Look, guys, we've got just under 5 minutes of a semi-final. We've worked our butt off all season. This is a fantastic Rosmini team. They're well drilled. They have good chemistry, great coaching staff, good system. Look, this is a matter of, like, I guess do or die here for them. They'll be vouching to go to this grand final. 14 points, it's doable, but they just really need to get into what they do well. I still think they're taking kind of rush shots in transition. And look, if they can, from an opposing standpoint, if they can try and attack Ball on the defensive end, get him off the court, that's a different game for this Napier boys team.
Maya on the other side, Napier boys all going to plan outside of the foul trouble Do you think they're going to look to change anything up in the last 4 minutes and 46?
Not really, I don't think. I think that zone very much working for them. Rosmini only kind of just starting to figure it out now. And then offensively, they look very sound, very succinct, being able to create advantages off the dribble. For them, it's just maintaining that patience offensively. Time is on their side, and then making sure, like we've talked about so many times, staying out of foul trouble.
14 seconds on the shot clock. Napier boys ball. Here's Smiler up top. Almost thought about the on ball there from Allen. Instead, they're just happy to work things around with 6 on the shot clock. To the hoop goes at Johns and converts.
How lovely. Zoram Smiler has been the man of this last quarter. A couple of really important go-ahead buckets. I believe he has a double-double now, flirting with a triple-double.
Yeah, he's got 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Rosmini just struggling to convert those twos inside.
Down 16 now. They need 4 points a minute to come back here. Maz Taylor thought about it. Pulls up from the mid-range. And here comes Christopher Wiley. 2 on 4, so he's going to pull this one up. To Reed, who goes through the teeth of the defense to Johns. And that's just summarised their night thus far, Kayla.
Yeah, unfortunate. That was a beautiful feed from Reed. Really got to make those buckets here as the clock's winding down. Every single shot counts.
Well, I really like the patience here from Napier boys. The clock is their friend. They're not trying to rush anything.
Yeah, there's no really need to, and you can see almost every possession just working at the very end of the shot clock. And every time they've done that, they've still been able to get a look at the tapa, whether that be a bucket or a trip to the Paikuru Tautaku. And it has been Maz Taylor and Zoram Smiler, the guys of this last quarter. Shout out though to Jackson Ball. He's getting a double team every time he gets the catch, and he's able to facilitate out of that. That is exactly what you want from someone getting a double team, right? And his teammates able to create out of that. That is why Napier is a team that is potentially going to the grand final, so deep with their talent.
And that can be really hard as a player on 4 fouls coming into the fourth quarter. You can often change the way that you play. You play more reserve. You maybe don't take opportunities that are there. So kudos to Ball for being able to still play his style of game on 4 fouls and do a lot for his team.
Uncharacteristic there for Maz, missed both, and another empty trip for Rosmini. Kayla, we're going to start seeing maybe some zone traps as they disrupt Napier.
Yeah, Rosmini have to do everything they can. Every screen needs to be hard hedged. Every opportunity for a trap needs to be taken. And they just need to be very disciplined at not fouling and boxing out. But that is just too easy off the Papamudi on the left side as that lead is now gone to 18 points.
And another steal. Here comes Ball against Tchaikovsky. Like Mason Orchard this afternoon, they're just riding the wave of Napier. And even though there's a turnover, they don't mind their 18 points. They can make a couple of mistakes, Myra, and they can get away with it.
Yeah, we'll see that another time. I think, like you just alluded to, they'll be pretty happy where they are at the moment to just ride out this wave, like you said. And as long as they execute these last few minutes and remain patient, I reckon they're pretty safe.
Kayla, what we're going to see here from Rosmini, they've really got to chase the game down 18 with 2:43.
Absolutely. Everything is on the aggressive end. You know, often there's times in basketball where you need to maybe be less aggressive or go under screens. They need to climb over everything, trap everything they can. But also in being more aggressive, you do risk giving up open leak outs or whatever that may be. But yeah, they're just going to have to give it everything they have and really try and find those Wiley brothers at the three-point line. It is late in the game, but it is still possible. You've seen them go on runs quite quickly, so finding these shooters is going to be pivotal. They need threes and they need stops.
Thank you to all 1,000 of you tuning in. I'm sure there's a few teams that can give us, so it might be a little bit more than that, but awesome to have that kind of viewership supporting secondary school basketball. So Rosmini, what can they conjure up here? Napier not in the bonus, a little bit different to previous quarters. Happy to work the ball around the top. Can they get it to Dalton in the high post? Jakowski!
Kuru Fifi Toru, that might have been just what they need, that little spark. 15 points now, 2.5 minutes. We've seen it done.
But again, good patience from Napier boys. They have to trap Rosmini. Every steal is so vital. To the corner, Taylor Kuru Fifi Toru. Good look though, Maya.
It's a good look, and with that they use a lot of the shot clock, so a lot of pressure now on Rosmini still to score, as you can see, just trying to force something up here, and Napier very happy to give up long closeouts.
Dalton!
Oh, good look there from Dalton, but the big tip in there. Kapai.
Back to 13 again. Rosmini letting Napier get the ball over halfway tip. Stay with Napier boys. 68-55, under 2 minutes now.
Ko mau tonu te poro a te kapa Napier.
Something to a putter, just trying to figure out what he's going to do here to conjure some magic. The Auckland Tuatara assistant coach. Ball with the ball. Taylor thought about kicking to the corner, eventually does. 10 now on the shot clock. Smiler. The patience. The tūrapa from Jakowski kicks ahead. Christopher Wiley pulls up Kuru Fifi Toru.
Mai te tapa. Kaurihangi tū, engari tino tata. Kia kahe e tama. Good look there from him.
Mai, are you changing anything in your Napier boys, or just exactly what they've been doing?
Exactly what they have been doing.
Aue taukuri. Te kuru topa, abo karawe. This Napier team are so strong, guys.
Probably the humblest of dunks there from Jackson Ball. 15-point deficit now as we have another look at here. Look at the skip pass from Taylor. Rory Delap-esque.
You know what I like the most is that Napier actually lost the game to Wellington College, and now they're going to go ahead and go to the grand final. Awesome, and just a telling sign of how close the competition here is here in secondary school nationals, and how it's not just encouraging for you to lose a game in your pool and then you can still make it to the grand final.
Absolutely, and we talked about that earlier in the tournament, Maya. Sometimes it's having a loss in a tournament, and moving forward you aren't complacent with any other team. You're not going into a game thinking, oh yes, on paper we should beat this team. No, you've always got the mentality of we cannot take anyone lightly, especially a team of the caliber of this Rosmini group. So yeah, they've responded to a loss, and they've done really well, has Napier boys.
Is that the best drawing of a school logo you've ever seen? Did you also see a little defense sign?
Quite niche to even draw a school logo. You know, typically you just see the Napier boys. I like the commitment.
Rosmini elect to advance, as we see there, Kirsten Taylor. Invested in this game. Here is Jameer Reid, little handoff to Wiley, speculated, Kuru Fifi Toru, Jakowski pulls trigger. And straight to Wiley.
Mai te Papa Moody.
Perfect answer there for Rosmini, but they need more points than available time. They probably need to intentionally foul at this point, Maya.
But you're right, they do, but they're press broken well by Napier, to no surprise, who have just remained so calm these last few minutes, and then draws the hutter there, does Isaac Allen. How good is that composure from Napier boys? All of them receiving doubles in the back and front court, and yet not that many turnovers out of that, and that is why they are looking to get that gold medal tomorrow.
Absolutely, and you know, sometimes coaches will talk about being quick and not hurrying. They're fast, they're moving the ball, but they're not rushing, they're not playing at a pace where they're scrambling. They've maintained composure this whole game, and they've got a lot of depth in their players. So, you know, it's in moments like games like this where that depth really shines through.
And now 14-point lead, 46 seconds, subs in for Napier. Maya, I'm ready to call this one. I don't know if you are or not, but I want way too early predictions in the emotions of the moment. Firstly, the girls, Westlake versus Stack. Who do you think is going to win?
I am a one-eyed Cantabrian, but I have to say the Westlake side have been the team to beat all along. I think they're a little bit too deep. St Andrews College, happy to be proven wrong. Happy to be proven wrong, but Westlake look pretty damn good right now.
What about you, Kayla, and the girls?
Look, I did have the privilege of watching Westlake in their pool match, and they are looking incredibly strong. But once again, one of those things, someone might look better on paper, but you know, it comes to who wants to bring it on the day.
That will be live at 2:15, and then the boys' final, that will end it. Napier boys versus Christ College, the one-eyed Cantabrian Maya at 4 p.m. Who do you think wins?
What do you think my answer is there? Christ College for sure. I think it's going to be a tough gig between these two teams, but Christ College very deep across the board. Actually, I think that one is definitely going to go down to the wire more than Westlake and Stack, and I think my preference is Christ College, but it's going to be who can actually put the portal in the tupper at the end of the day. Who can execute, who can make shots.
Kayla, for you, who wins the boys tomorrow?
Golly, I'm not going to answer that. Same kind of thing. Who's going to show up on the day? That will be the big one. Both have a lot of depth. Gosh, but Quinn Clinton coaching Christ College, great player and an even better coach. So I'm excited to see the matchup. So I can't actually answer that for you, Andrew.
Jakowski, Kurufifi, Toru. And so, are we going to see a hara called? No. Napier boys are going to dribble this one out, and they now have a date in the grand final. Napier boys are going to take on Christ College for supremacy in 2024. Taking down Rosmini 72-57. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Been great to bring you the action today on semi-final Friday. We're a grand final Saturday tomorrow. Put your feet up, sit in front of the couch. We will be live with the bronze medal matches from 10:15. My name's Andrew Horrocks alongside Kayla Manu Irirangi and Maya Williamson. Of course, Greg Elliott as well, who's been on the mic today from our entire production team and the BBNZ staff. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We will see you tomorrow.
Ka kite anō.
Tino pai e nei ringi mo tō tātai kura nā te mea ka haere ki raro me te ki runga mō ngā pepe me ngā tuakana o tō tātai kura. I he pai e nei ringi mo tō tātai kura nā te mea ki te prakati i mata i te poitikohu me te tai atu mea. He tino pai tēnei ki tō tātai kura nā te mea he mā tātau tēnei o te mautiri.
The hoops, we had to use our hands and we had to use wire. We used a clothesline and the trees, and then we moved on to a kid's hoop, and then we moved on to the hoops that we got.
At school because they're better than the old ones, and we use them a lot more. It's cleaner, sleeker design, and from the swish of the basketball hitting it to just making a basket in general and the connections that it can help you make with people.
E tiro aroha nau ki ngā mahi toi katoa, ngā mahi auaha. He pōrangi mātai. Toi tū te rangi, toi tū te whenua, toi tū te reo Māori, toi ata ki te ao.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Take this for example. This wine turret doesn't look very well designed. So we called the tank manufacturer to check. We asked, why is the turret away from the side of the tank? They said, because it's always been that way. So we had to think. What if the turret was next to the catwalk? Sounds good. So that's what we did. Now the wine turret is better designed, better value, easier to use, and safer. I think that deserves a toast. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved with it. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
I've got no skeleton, got nothing to hide.
He's a great stirrer.
It's trepidation, anticipation.
She's a game changer.
Come celebrate the stories of our Māori heroes. Whakanuia.
Lots of celebrations, so many laughs. It's going to be amazing.
I'm a bit of a fan.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the stories from the St. Joe's days.
Oh, she is the sweetest person and also one of the most scary people I've ever met. Yeah.
Uncle? He's the man.
The biggest fan base is 50-plus-year-old Pākehā women.
That's not true.
Bring it on. Whakanuia. Te whakapāhoa kia ana ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up.
I've got no skeleton, got nothing to hide.